Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the air. Greetings and welcome. Hello to you, wherever you are, whenever you are, for a special presentation of Orioles baseball. It's opening day 2024, where we will have the Baltimore Orioles kicking things off against the Los Angeles Angels at Camden Yards. Hi, I'm your announcer, Steve, a.k.a. the BirdWatcher. And if you're finding my channel for the first time, it's good to see you. Welcome. This channel is brand new, sort of still under construction, hence not too much of a flattering background to look at here. I don't have a whole lot of merch to look at, but I am a gigantic Orioles fan. And I come from a sports writing background. I actually live on the other side of the planet, which is why it does not look like, 20 minutes till 3 p.m. outside my balcony window there. I live on the other side of the planet, but that is how much I love Orioles baseball. I'm here to cover it, all 162 games if possible. And, I decided to, with this first stream for the first game of the season, let me go ahead and get this stream started early in case there are any issues. I see there's some people showing up in chat already, so this would give me a chance to say hello and also maybe ask if the audio sounds okay, picture and everything else. Good morning. It is 1:41 a.m. where I sit right now. Hello to Maria and Poole and Cameron and Pure. Guys, if any of you could just say, hey, BirdWatcher, Steve, whatever you want to call me. Yeah, that sounds okay. Looks okay. So far, so good. That'd be great. I would wear headphones and sort of monitor this sort of thing myself, but headphones aren't good for me. So yes, today begins a new journey, the next chapter in Orioles baseball. And I got to tell you, thank you, Cam. The optimism may be at an all-time high in terms of opening days in my lifetime, or at least in my baseball active lifetime, which began around 1988. I was born in 77. Too young to remember the 83 series. Too young to already be a fan. No, I waited until they lost their first 21 games in 88. That's when they pulled me in. But anyway, ever since, it's been an absolute love affair. And I'm so happy that I'm in a position now where I can dedicate this entire season to archiving what's going to unfold here for this franchise. Obviously, a lot going on in terms of transition with ownership, off-season acquisitions, and just the overall direction of the team. It's a very exciting time to be an Orioles fan, and looking around YouTube, which I do on a daily basis, I felt like we could use at least one more extra voice out there covering the Orioles. There are some great podcasters out there who cover all the details in and around the Orioles, for example, Locked On Orioles podcast with Connor Newcomb, or Ryan Ripken and his podcast. You should look it up. He had Rubenstein on for an interview along with his father Cal, talking about their views on the direction for the club, and again, it's all very exciting, and of course, I say all that. It would be remiss if I didn't at least acknowledge and spend just a second to solemnly give my condolences to those that were lost in the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. It just happened a few days ago. It really rocked the community of Baltimore, and obviously to the lives that were lost and to the families and friends of those lives. We dedicate this opening day to you, okay? Yeah, the whole community is affected and will be affected for a long time. But hey, we come back, we build back stronger, right? If there's one thing I can say about the city of Baltimore, it's hard to knock us down and knock us out, right? We're pretty stubborn. We got a lot of charm, and we got a lot of stubborn. So right now I've got MLB Network I'm looking at here on my monitor. I don't have the Masson coverage on yet, and hopefully there won't be any issues with the coverage. That would really be a bad situation on opening day. Hey, Pierre, thanks for the audio check-in as well as Cam. Hello, Snowman. Hey. How do you do? So we got time here. It's going to be about 20 minutes until first pitch. I'm looking at the field right now. Does look a little damp, but it's not currently raining. There's no tarp out there. It does appear first pitch will be at the scheduled 3:05 local start time. Obviously on the mound, the pitching matchup will have our ace versus the Angels' quote-unquote ace, I suppose. I mean, they named a starter. We have Corbin Burnes, fresh off the trade from the Milwaukee Brewers in the offseason. One of the biggest splash moves in baseball. I would say in terms of pitching, the splash move. He'll be taking on Patrick Sandoval, the southpaw for the Angels. And we've already got lineup cards out, so why don't we go ahead and take a look? And then I can talk about what my dream lineup card would have been had I been in charge. Because this is where my expertise is, folks. A lot of off-season where I'm listening to podcasts, trying to get caught up with everything going on outside the lines with the Orioles organization. Admittedly, I'd taken a lot of time off from following the Orioles closely like I used to because as a sports writer covering a completely different sport in a completely different country, logistically I just didn't have it. But things opened up for me last year. I got to watch the entire 2023 season from start to finish. I kind of got myself reacclimated, and it didn't take me long to realize that as much as knowledgeable as I may have become covering the English Premier League for a decade, it doesn't hold a candle to just how obsessed I am with Major League Baseball. And yeah, that first year, I stayed quiet. I watched the games. I caught myself back up. And now I've had a full off season of getting caught up with sort of the whole look of the front office, not just with the Orioles, but around baseball in general. And I'm feeling pretty caught up. But I will admit, there might be a few names out there that I don't pronounce right. I'm watching them maybe for only the first or second time. But give me a chance. And I'm sure we're going to... I'm sure this is going to be a good place to follow the Orioles. So yeah, here's a lineup card, and yeah, I'm all over the place right now because my eyes are like filled with that like Christmas morning wonder as I'm looking at some of the footage here in downtown Baltimore. But yeah, here are the lineup cards. First for the Angels, Anthony Rendon will lead off and play third base. Aaron Hicks, last year an Oriole, is now an Angel. He'll be in right field batting second. Mike Trout, probably destined for the Hall of Fame, I would think. Hopefully maybe can play this season without injury because the Angels will surely need him. He is, of course, in the three-hole. Taylor Ward is in left field in the cleanup spot, and that's when you immediately go, wow, this is what an Angels lineup without Ohtani looks like. Brandon Drury will hit fifth and play second. Nolan Chanuel, last year's sort of rookie sensation for the Angels, youngster at first base, batting 6th. Miguel Sano, offseason acquisition. He'll be the DH. Logan O'Hoppe will be behind the plate. And Zach Neto, the shortstop, batting 9th. For the Orioles, they'll counter with Gunnar Henderson leading off against a lefty. Adley Rutschman will bat 2nd. Ryan Mountcastle at first base. Anthony Santander in right field in the cleanup spot. Austin Hayes bats 5th and left. Jordan Westberg is the DH. Cedric Mullins hitting 7th and center. Ramon Urias is at third base. And finally, Jorge Mateo at 2nd. Now, how would I have changed this lineup? I would have flip-flopped Gunnar and Adley. I would have had Adley leading off and Gunnar in a spot to be more of a what do you call it? What do you call that two-hole hitter? It's it's sort of a move a guy over, move a guy in kind of spot. Gunnar's stats against left-handed pitching got better as the season went on last year, but in general, you look at the final stats, and he still was one of the weaker bats we had against southpaws. As good as he is, if he can figure out a way to hit lefties with any modicum of success, and I'm just saying hit 250, on base 310, I'll take it. But if he can do that, then he's going to take his Rookie of the Year stats from last year and turn them into, votes for MVP stats. It's going to be hard to win an MVP. A lot of good players in the league. But if things go well, if he doesn't regress, big things for Gunnar. Then I would have flip-flopped Santander and Mountcastle. I just like having Mountcastle against lefties batting cleanup. I mean, hitting him third, it's not a big deal because, again, he's here to hit lefties. So third or fourth, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. Then you got Hayes all the way up in the 5-hole, and this is why I just wish we could have figured out a reason for Kobe Mayo to make the team. Because imagine a team right here where, say, Mayo is in for Urias, you plug him in behind Santander, and then you move Hayes and everybody else down a little bit. Hey, Steel City. Hey, Card Crazed. How far do you have the O's going this season? I have them winning the division, and I feel more confident, really more because, the Garrett Cole situation for the Yankees, combined with the fact that while I do believe Juan Soto is going to, make them one of the best offenses in the league, the pitching is enough of a question mark, and also just the team chemistry. The Yankees have a lot to prove in that regard. It's something the Orioles have that you can't get away from it. Everybody on the team has a role. There's no prima donnas, at least not yet. With the Yankees, it's always been a situation. Yes, they've had many great teams, and sometimes they've put together great teams through free agency and brought in good players that gelled together. But when you build teams like that, and you don't hit right, and you're bringing a player that is just more interested in finally getting that big payday, and then, you might wind up with something like the Angels are sitting on over here right now. Anthony Rendon. Guy doesn't even want to play. Or at least it's, rather low in his list of priorities. Here's a shot of Burnes in the pen. Getting loose. My goodness, we are now, what are we now? 12 minutes away from first pitch. I wish I could sit here and give you a little bit of a play-by-play on the opening ceremonies. I'm going to try and switch it over to the Masson channel, but I'm also prepared for a lack of success there. Okay, here we go. I also need to get my supplies ready, get myself a beverage out here. Again, folks, I'm coming to you live from halfway around the world. And, hey, don't hold it against me because my boy Adam Jones, AJ10, He tweeted out, "Hey, happy opening day, everybody." Where's Adam Jones? Where are you at, Adam Jones? Adam Jones is not far from me. He's like 1.5 countries over in Vietnam right now. And there he is. Why aren't I following you? Where was that tweet I saw? Wow, does he tweet a lot or what? There he is. There's AJ.
Man, let's go. Opening day, baby. Let's go.
Opening day, let's go. So he's in the same time zone I am. So he's up. He said it's 2:05 first pitch for him, a.m. Same for me. So if you think I'm crazy following Orioles baseball from half a world away, my boy Adam Jones, he's doing the same thing. It's all good. So yeah, how far did the Orioles go this season? Yeah, again with the Yankees, with Garrett Cole down, and I don't believe the timetable. I mean, they're making it sound like, I don't know. They want to be optimistic, but it just sounds like you gotta. If there's any sort of setback, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, it does look like the Masson stream is up and running now. Thank goodness. And that looks like Gunnar Henderson coming out of the left field wall there. They are introducing the players now. Here comes Dean Kramer, and his hair is fully out and flapping in the breeze. Here comes the mini mountain. Tyler Wells, number 68, running out here. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to start getting choked up. Hey, Felix Bautista is in uniform. That is the mountain. The main mountain. And what a round of applause he's getting. Oh, I'm going to get choked up. Here's Yenier Cano. Let's hope he can repeat the success from last season. What a pleasant surprise he was. By the way, and there he is. I was just going to mention the name of somebody that might be a surprise to Orioles fans who made this opening day roster, because leading into this morning, he was not on the roster, and that's Nick Vespi, the southpaw reliever. As you can see, this is the final roster here. And what happened was Jacob Webb, the right-handed reliever, he's on paternity leave. So it would appear we're going to start the season with Vespi on the team. By the way, Brandon Hyde, the manager, running out now. And now here comes Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson, trotting down the orange carpet, and a huge round of applause for number 2. As either side of the carpet is adorned with children holding up Oriole flags. And now, who I have to say is the face of this franchise, the face of this era, this brand of Orioles baseball, the catcher who's got it all, Adley Rutschman. All right, they're introducing the players in order of their starting lineup. So you had Gunnar, you had Adley, and out comes Mountie, Ryan Mountcastle. So yeah, where are the O's going, Steel City, you ask? We're going to win the division. We're not going to win 101 games. I'm going to put us somewhere over under 97 and a half. There's Anthony Santander. Is that enough to win the division? I think it is. I think it will be. I think Tampa doesn't get to 99 again. I think Toronto might wind up only winning about 85 games. That's just me. I see Toronto around 85. I see New York and Tampa somewhere around 90. And then I see the Orioles about 95. Here comes Sed Mullins. Boy, here's somebody that we really need to keep an eye on. The Orioles had a fantastic spring. Now, of course, your spring training record means very little, if anything at all, obviously in terms of nothing to brag about. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the players that we hope to see big things from, and especially a lot of the younger players, all had fantastic springs. For the most part. Heston Kjerstad, maybe not so much. Here comes Jorge Mateo down the line. And that should leave... they're going to announce Corbin Burnes right here. And the crowd is on their feet. It's a packed house, save for that last section over the left field stands in the upper deck. There's definitely some open seats there. But in and around Utah Street... Oh, yeah, it's a packed house. Skies are gray, but no signs of actual rainfall, so... And here's the Mo Gabba fan of the year. This little kid running out. Looking fantastic. So many kids out there in the field. You love to see it. He's wearing a Mullins jersey. Gets a handshake from Brandon Hyde. And now they will do today's national anthem. Hey, Fitzy. Good to see you. Steve, what do you think of Tony Kemp? Cam, I think Tony Kemp is here to just fill a spot until Jackson Holiday gets called up. There's really not much to... Tony Kemp is just a name on a piece of paper. We played a little bit of Moneyball. We said, who's out there that's cheap, can play the infield, maybe a little bit of versatility, can do the outfield, has a left-handed bat, has some major league experience, and we can get him for like next to nothing. As they unfurl the replica Fort McHenry American flag over the batter's eye out in center field. There's also a choir stationed below. So I'm sure we're going to have an emotional rendition of our anthem here. And I'll probably just keep quiet here for a minute. In fact, this might be a good time for me to go grab a drink and get ready for opening day. It's opening day. Let's go. Look, am I supposed to contain my excitement? Jesus Christ almighty. It's opening day. It's the best day of the year. Spring hopes eternal. Baseball is back. The great American game. And for the city of Baltimore, a city that has suffered 41 years since we last won a pennant. We've had a lot of downs, a couple of ups, but so many downs. Will this be the season that the Oriole way is back and here to stay, at least for the next generation to come? I can't wait. Mr. Rubenstein, first order of business. Adley Rutschman, contract. Second order of business, Gunnar Henderson, contract. Third order of business, Jackson Holiday, contract. Fourth order of business, Grayson Rodriguez, contract. I'll leave the fifth order of business up to you. We are doing good on this fine Thursday afternoon. Let me get my beverage ready. You knew I wouldn't be able to get through this tonight without a little bit of caffeine, right? There's just no way. As much as the adrenaline rush is keeping me feeling good, I got to get used to drinking these at 2 in the morning because, boy, April's got a lot of games that for me are going to be on in the middle of the night. So I guess let me take this time to, whoops, I got to be careful with that HDMI cable. Very sensitive. Hard line from my computer into my TV. Yes, I am working basically like a pirate radio station out here, folks. And let me appeal to those that might be checking out my channel for the first time. Listen, I know that you're probably going to be able to not so difficultly find another channel out there that might be covering this game. There might be some nice, snazzy graphics. There might be some fun sound effects thrown in. There might be a lot of background noise with merchandise and Funko Pops and all that. Listen, I'll be up front with you. I don't have that stuff. I've got a pretty uninteresting background and not much to look at except a live animation that's going to follow the game. I'm going to be using ESPN today. Fitz, I'm following your lead, and I'm going to hope that this is as close to being lined up with real time. Now, I guess it is a late start because I'm staring at my clock right now, and it says 2:05 a.m. It's 3:05 p.m. then in Baltimore, which is first pitch. So, yeah, Fitz is asking 3:05 or 3:10. They just got done with the introductions. They just sang the national anthem. So, yeah, I would assume here in just a couple of minutes. I might even sneak in just a quick little something. Be right back, folks. I promise you, you're not going to miss a pitch. Yeah, it's not even going to be 3:10. The first pitch ceremony is about to take place. A young girl who's the daughter of, I believe, is a postal worker? David Rubenstein, when he was young and living in Baltimore, had a job, or maybe it was his father who worked for a certain industry. And here comes Mr. Rubenstein. And he's handing the baseball off to the little girl. Cal Ripken is back to receive behind the plate. Is he going to crouch? Cal is in the crouch. Here comes the pitch, and it's over the plate. Nice toss. First pitch in the books. I think that's a nice move there from Rubenstein, who, declined himself to throw out the pitch. Obviously, it would have been symbolic for the new owner to throw the pitch to Cal, who's also a part owner of the team now. But it would appear that David Rubenstein, part of his mission is to bring as many people into the Orioles fan base as possible. And so far, so good. It's a nice-looking crowd here on opening day, despite the weather, despite, obviously, the issues that have occurred in Baltimore here this week that, has certainly thrown a wrench into the logistics of travel and everything else. But, again, you can't keep these Oriole fans down. They are dressed up for cold weather. I'm going to go ahead and assume that the splash zone, Mr. Splash, he might be sitting out there, but I doubt that he's going to be dousing anybody with water in temperatures like this. Let's try to keep our fans from getting, hypothermia or something. Hey, Pool, how you doing? You got your popcorn ready? Okay, I'm going to assume after this next commercial break that we're going to be underway with first pitch because that's it. There are no other ceremonies to do. So again, folks, hey, if you're here right now, if you haven't done it already, if you don't mind, I'm not really good at doing this on a regular basis, but go ahead and hit that like button. One more person to do that would hit me at double digits already before first pitch. How about that? Double-digit likes before the first pitch of the season. Somebody out there might have the power to move that number to 10. This is the first of a 3-game series, by the way. I love these percentage. Who's the percentage to win things? They mean absolutely nothing. No bingo, Pure. Unless you want to make a card that goes, Adley goes 3 for 3 with 2 walks. Gunner hits 3 home runs. Mountcastle goes deep twice. Cano strikes out the side. Brandon Hyde makes a pinch hit move that works like a charm. These are the sort of squares that are coming to mind right now. Let's see. Yeah, so Webb is on paternity leave, as you can see. So, and of course, the other 2 players, key players for the Orioles' hopes this season, and we hope to have them both back, and not just some capacity, but a very key capacity. Kyle Bradish, of course, major breakout player last season, really turned this Orioles pitching staff into something above mediocrity. And then, of course, John Means, the veteran, who returned from a long injury layoff last season, made a few starts down the stretch, looked good, but unfortunately, injuries sort of came back, and it's delayed his ability to be ready for opening day. But apparently, John Means could be ready here before the end of April, and Bradish perhaps not too far behind. As we get a look at Utah Street, and boy, people are bundled up. It's a cold day in Baltimore. It's cold, it's wet, and who cares, right? I'm pretty sure people are keeping warm with a natty bow and the comfort of friends. Pure is already coming out with a prediction. 2-1 Angels in 13 innings. Boy. Hey, Pure, do you mind if we throw in like a 2-hour rain delay along with the 13 innings and the heartbreaking loss? It's good to have buddies showing up, ready to bust chops right out of the gate. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm telling you right now, don't pitch to Trout and take your chances with everybody else. All I'm praying for is no rain delay. My biggest fear for the last 48 hours is that this game would start, and after 2 innings of Corbin Burnes, the floodgates open, and we have like a 90-minute rain delay, and then after that delay, you can't throw Burnes back out there, and we've wasted a start from Burnes for 2 innings. You know, that would just be such a stumble out of the gate when we could have just postponed till tomorrow. But I'm sure the Orioles organization was considering that sort of thing and just played it by ear. Wanted to make it opening day today, and they're going to get it in. Did Rendon get hurt yet? I don't know. Can you go on the DL for Pride? Because I think his pride's a little bit hurt, knowing that pretty much everyone in and around baseball has zero respect for him at this point. Wow, we are about ready. Corbin Burnes is tidying up around his mound here and is about to start warming up here on the mound ahead of the first batter of the game. With the Brewers last year, Burnes went 10-8, an ERA of 3.39, just under 200 innings, had 200 strikeouts. Opponents hit 200 on the nose against him. He's a true ace. He's finished in the top 10 of the Cy Young Award vote for the last 4 straight seasons. He's Known for his cutter, he throws it more than half of the time, at least in 2023 that was the case. He also has a big curveball, a nasty changeup, and he also works in a slider and a sinker from time to time. And you will have to forgive me if perhaps once in a while I see a pitch that I thought was a changeup, but it's really another kind of pitch. I don't know. I'm going to get used to it, though. This is my first long look at Corbin Burnes. By the way, could I ask chat, can you hear my TV bleeding into my microphone? Because I'm trying to have the volume up enough where I can hear like the crack of the bat. That really helps me call the game a little easier. I could stand to turn down a little bit. Anyway, the crowd is making noise as Anthony Rendon steps into the batter's box. And we are underway with the first pitch of the 2024 season, and there's a fastball in the inside corner on the black for a called strike. My goodness, baseball is back. The 0-1 from Burnes. The check swing foul off to the right. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside black. You can't hear the TV. Okay, fantastic. Rendon last season in only 43 games hit .236, 2 home runs, 22 RBI. The 0-2 is a breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 now, Anthony Rendon. Whoops, let me fix this. Now, isn't there more of a animated? Okay, right there. I think I want that up there, don't I? The 1-2 is in the dirt again. Another breaking ball, and the count even up at 2-2. Actually, I can see this is a little bit ahead. We'll see. We'll try to work with it. I don't want this to spoil too much, but my eyes are going to be locked on the TV anyway. Try to avoid getting... Yeah, I mean, that's always the mission, to try to avoid getting copyrighted. That is the mission, Spaceman. I don't think I'm doing anything that's breaking copyright, right? I've got the ESPN... by the way, the count is now run full. And the payoff pitch to Rendon is on its way. Swing and a miss! Fastball. Bottom of the zone. 95 miles an hour. Rendon comes up empty, and Corbin Burnes begins his Orioles career with a strikeout. That cut fastball. Some really tight spin on that pitch. Hopefully it doesn't take 6 pitches to get every batter out, but a fine first at bat, or first batter faced, I should say, for Corbin Burnes. Here's Aaron Hicks. Last year had a nice role in the Orioles team after being claimed after the Yankees had cut him. Now he's going to probably be playing every day here for the Angels. Switch hitter, batting from the left side against Burnes. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him, and this is a breaking ball off the plate outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 down here, just getting started, top of the first. Angels here at Camden Yards taking on the Baltimore Orioles. The 1-1 is swung on and fouled at the plate. 1-2 on Aaron Hicks. For those who were wondering whether or not Corbin Burnes would grow his mullet back out, it would appear that he's on his way. Here's the 1-2 to Hicks. And a swing and a miss. The ball's in the dirt. Rutschman will have to throw to first to complete the out. He does. And 2 strikeouts and 2 batters to begin the career for Corbin Burnes. I can get used to this. Burnes is on pace to strike out 27 today. And here comes one of the best players of the past generation. You really hope that this guy can play a full, healthy season. And despite what is an environment that cannot be looked at very positively with the Angels franchise right now. Mike Trout, who first pitch swinging, fouls one off. Again with the defense, it's Hayes, Mullins, and Santander in the outfield. Urias, Henderson, Westberg, Mountcastle, third to first. Rutschman behind the plate. This one's off the plate, a slider, and the count 1-1. Trout played just 82 games last season. The 1-1 is swung on and hit well, left field, but that's out there to the deepest part of the yard, and it's going to fly out of here. Mike Trout gets it into the bullpen, and is Trout back? Well, one at bat would say yes, he is. Mike Trout quickly quiets the Oriole crowd. He took a low breaking ball and scooped it up and out over the bullpen in left center field near the 376 sign. What did I say? I said just don't pitch to Trout. You look at this lineup, it's like just don't give him anything to hit. And here's Taylor Ward, the next batter, first pitch swinging, popping it up on the infield for an easy out as Mountcastle makes the catch. It's unfortunate. Burnes strikes the first two batters out. He gets Taylor Ward easily, but he gave Mike Trout a pitch he could hit, and Mike Trout took advantage. The Angels take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. We head to the bottom half. Angels 1, the Orioles coming up. Feels like the Angels are about to become the only AL team in California once the A's leave. But they still have plenty of teams, right? You still got the Giants and the Padres and the Dodgers in the National League. Hey, you know how baseball is. They don't really mind realigning. Maybe the Padres will be an American League team at some point. Actually, forget that. Give us back the Brewers. We enjoyed the Brewers in the American League. I enjoyed Orioles-Brewers rivalry games. Can't you put the Astros back in the National League and the Brewers back in the American League? I don't know. I'm such an old geezer. 402 feet on that Mike Trout home run, by the way. Mike Trout. Man, why do you give him anything to hit? You got the bases empty, 2 down, and nobody to protect him behind him in the lineup. I know you're the ace. You're Corbin Burnes. You don't want to. You feel like there's nobody you need to have to pitch around. My best is better than your best sort of mentality, and that's the sort of mentality an ace should have. But an ace should also understand, hey, it'd be different if I were pitching a Judge with Soto on deck, but I'm pitching to Trout with Taylor Ward on deck. Let me just not throw one in the zone. But hey, it happens. We're going to the bottom of the first. Patrick Sandoval, 28 starts last season, went 7-13 with an ERA of 4.11. 128 strikeouts to 74 walks. Opponents hit 256 off of him. Only gave up 12 home runs in 144 innings, so he doesn't give up the long ball much. Here's the first pitch to Henderson, and it's outside for ball 1. Gunnar Henderson in the leadoff spot today. Last season's Rookie of the Year, hit 255 with 28 home runs. And this one's in the dirt, and it's quickly 2-0. Gunnar's biggest task this season, well, I guess the number one priority is just simply don't regress. If he were to do what he did last season, that would be a fantastic contribution to this offense and defense. This one is off the plate, 3-0 to Henderson. But if there's one thing to monitor to hopefully see an improvement, it's his ability to hit left-handed pitching. So he's in here right now with a 3-0 count, and I'm hoping he's going to just take this one all the way. He does, and it's off the plate. A 4-pitch walk to Gunnar Henderson. And boy, if Burnes giving up a home run to Trout felt like a mistake, walking the leadoff man on 4 pitches to start your season with Adley Rutschman to follow. That's not exactly a good start either. Ward, Trout, and Hicks left to right for the Angels in the outfield. Rendon, Neto, Drury, and Chanuel third to first. And O'Happy behind the plate. Here's a first pitch. It's a low strike to Adley Rutschman, hitting from the right side here. Rutschman last season, 277, 20 home runs, 80 driven in. Played in 154 games despite being the Orioles' primary catcher. Next pitch is low, 1-1. Do I have a lot of people in here? Or are you being facetious? Welcome all the people that might be here. If you're here and you hit that like button, that would really be nice. I'm seeing 9. Just one would make it double digits. Here comes the 1-1 to... first it's a check on Gunnar, who's back standing at first. So disengagement number 1 for Sandoval. 1-1 on the count on Rutschman. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Henderson at first. Rutschman at the plate. The pitch is upstairs, 2-1. So far, Sandoval has thrown 7 pitches, and only one of them has been in the strike zone. And that was a borderline call, by the way. It was a low strike to start this at-bat against Rutschman. The 2-1 is low and in, 3-1. My goodness. You can't nibble against Adley Rutschman. His plate vision is simply too good. He's gonna take a pitch. He's gonna walk. You got to throw him a strike. Here comes the 3-1 to Adley. And he hits one. He bloops it into right field for a base hit. Gunnar Henderson running hard. He's going to try for third, and he slides in. And it's the aggressive base running and the kind of brand of Orioles baseball that we enjoyed so much last season. Adley Rutschman fighting off an inside pitch, blooping it to the opposite field. Gunnar Henderson running hard the whole way, goes first to third, and the Orioles have something cooking. Runners at the corners and nobody out here in the bottom of the first. You love to see the hustle right out of the gate. First and third now, and here comes Ryan Mountcastle. Professional left-hand pitching masher. And he takes one up and in for ball 1. My goodness, Sandoval is working himself into a heap of trouble right now. Mountcastle split time with Ryan O'Hearn a lot in a platoon situation. He did get his fair share of at-bats against right-handed pitching, whereas O'Hearn was pretty much strictly in there only to face righties. Not too many at-bats against lefties, but yeah, if a lefty's starting on the mound, expect to see Ryan Mountcastle in the heart of the order. He's got a 2-0 count, and the pitch is low for ball 3. My goodness, Patrick Sandoval. And now O'Happy throws the ball back to Sandoval, and he drops it. And a bit of a razz from the Oriole crowd. They can sense that the floodgates are not far from opening here. The 3-0 is in there all the way. Mountcastle taking all the way, 3-1. Last year, Mountie hit .338 against lefties while hitting just .235 against righties. The 3-1 pitch is low the whole way. Easy walk for Mountcastle. The bases are loaded, nobody out. And here comes a visit from the pitching coach already. The Oriole fans are on their feet. Bases loaded, nobody out for Tony Taters, Anthony Santander. And the Orioles giveaway here on opening day, the orange rally towel, is getting a lot of use around the ballpark right now, as the Angels have a confrontation. A confrontation? a conference. It might be a confrontation. The pitching coach might be confronting Sandoval, going, hey, do you remember how to pitch? You've thrown about 2 strikes so far. You've walked 2 batters. The bases are loaded. Nobody's out. We gave you a run, and you're about to blow it. Here we go. Henderson at third. Rutschman at second. Mountcastle at first. Nobody out. And Anthony Santander, switch hitter, batting from the right side, stepping in. The first pitch to him is swung on and missed. Oh, that pitch was below the strike zone, and Santander wanted to do a little too much. Tony, be patient. This guy's thrown 3 strikes before that pitch. Make him come to you. Make him come to you. The 0-1 is swung on and hit on the ground to third. This could be 2. The second for 1 over the first. Safe. Santander beats it out. And Gunnar comes home on an RBI ground out. And the Orioles have tied the ball game. That was a double play ball. But Rendon, who started the 5-4-3, let's see. His throw to second was a bit low. And that caused the transfer, maybe a split-second delay, and that was enough for Santander to beat it out. So instead of a double play and no RBI, we still have a chance to knock another run in here. First and third with only 1 out, and here's Austin Hayes. First pitch to him is a called strike. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Sandoval. Yeah, Thomas, are you around? It's a tie game. Is this going to go to overtime? The catcher puts up a high target. Swing and a miss. Catcher maybe trying to deke Hayes. Held the glove high in the zone. And then the pitch was on the outside. Hayes chased. And the count 0-2. This is a big at-bat for Hayes. He's on 2 strikes. If he can just lift a ball in the air, he can give the Orioles the lead here without the benefit of a hit. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Tough at-bat there for Hayes. He strikes out on 3 pitches in an RBI spot. And it's now going to be up to, who's up next? Jordan Westberg to do something here with 2 outs if the Orioles are going to try and take the lead here in the first. Westberg DHing today. And the first pitch to him is upstairs and way off the plate. Boy, Sandoval has no command right now. I don't know if he knows where the ball's going. If he did, he'd have to ask, well, why do you want it to go there? Because these pitches that are missing, they're missing 5, 6, 7 inches off the plate. The next one is swung on and missed. Good location there, but Westberg probably should have laid off. That, even if he did make contact, that's a tough pitch to do anything with. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, a run in, runners at the corners, and the 1-1 to Westberg is on the way. Here's a breaking ball that, oh, I'm sorry, that's a fastball. Upstairs, 90 miles an hour. 2-1 the count. Actually, I'm looking over here. They're calling that a slider. They called it a fastball on one screen, and they called it a slider on the other. The next pitch is a called strike, low and in. Westberg didn't like the call. Umpire might have been a little helpful there to Sandoval on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 23 pitches already from Sandoval. The 2-2 pitch is in the dirt, and the count runs full. Well, if the Orioles do only manage to score the 1 run, at least they've leveled the game, and at least they've made Sandoval throw a lot of pitches. You hope he can't find his command, and we just start mounting another rally in the next inning. But sometimes these pitchers, they have a rough first inning and then they settle down. Here's a flare in the right center over the glove of the second baseman for a base hit. And in to score is Rutschman. It's an RBI single for Jordan Westburg, and the Orioles have taken a 2-1 lead. And the splash zone is indeed in full effect. Mr. Splash is spraying the crowd, hopefully with warm water. I don't even know if I want warm water on me on a cold day. Careful out there, Mr. Splash. Hey, if you're sitting out there, you want to be out there, right? The Orioles take the lead on a clutch 2-out hit from Jordan Westburg. You love to see it. And the beat goes on. Here comes Cedric Mullins now. Only one of two left-handed only hitting batters in this lineup besides Henderson. He takes upstairs for ball one. Mullins did not have a very good spring. His injuries have started to become an issue between the second half of last season and spring. He was also hampered with some soreness in his legs, hamstring issues. Here's a pitch for a called strike, 1-1. We need his glove in center field. There's no doubt about it. We can afford to hit him lower in the order if the bat isn't there until it comes back. But he's going to pop one up here into shallow center. Trout comes in about 7 or 8 steps to make the catch, and the inning is over. But the Orioles respond. After giving up a run in the top of the first, they come back with 2 of their own. And at the end of 1, it's the Orioles 2, the Angels 1. Mr. Splash, you ask, Thomas? Are you not familiar with Mr. Splash? Out there in left center field between Baltimore and the bullpen, there's one little section where a guy named Mr. Splash is out there to splash the crowd whenever the Orioles score or get an extra base hit. You're familiar with our system, right? A single, you turn on the sprinkler. A double, it's time to turn on the old, whatchamacallit? Oh, no, you turn on the faucet. Then it's the sprinkler, right? Hey there, RC. How are you? Good to see you. Let's check in on that old. Hey, the likes did hit double digits. Folks, if you haven't subscribed already and you're hanging out with me, you're going to want to be hanging out all season. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's opening day. I do hope to gain a few subscribers here because who knows, the next 150 games or so might not have anywhere near as much of a crowd as this one. I would expect there's a lot of people out there on opening day looking for content. So I hope I do you folks well. Average view time 2 minutes and 43. Okay, 189 people. And 20 said, hey, I'll hang out. Hey, that's better than 10% that said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Oh, wait, 3 just left. All right. This is what happens when you monitor stuff like this. Things just start going badly. Hey, it's between innings. Give me a sec. Take a back look here on the Twitter here. Maybe we can get a highlight of that RBI or two. There we go. Answering right back. Here you go. There is the flare by Westburg over the glove of the second baseman for that second run of the inning. Rutschman comes in to score. All right, we're about to get ready here for the top of the second. Burnes on the mound, and at the plate, Brandon Drury. The pitch is swung on and fouled back. 0-1 on Drury. By the way, David Rubenstein is sitting in now with the Orioles broadcast team, making the rounds today. I saw he did some photo ops with fans. The 0-1 pitch is low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Drury here leading off the top of the second. People start piling. Oh, you mean on my stream? This one is also low and away. 2-1 the count on Drury. RC, I'm just as hopeful that people start pouring into Camden Yards and packing the park night after night as much as I am hoping for people to pour into my stream. The 2-1 is low and away again. The third time Burnes has missed low and away in a row. 3-1 the count here to the leadoff man here in the top of the second. Come on, Burnesy. Lock back in. Now it's on you. You've been given a lead, and you're a true ace. You need to hold that lead. This one's low and away, but it catches the outside corner, and Drury fouls it away. The count runs full. 3-2, leading off in the top of the second. Go Yankees. Yes, go 84 and 78. Is it? You forgot that part of the comment, Spaceman. Go 84 and 78, Yankees. And there's a shot of the booth. You got Jim Palmer, David Rubenstein, Ben McDonald, and Kevin Brown. The payoff pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed. What a curve there by Burnes. 12-6. That ball started about neck high. And wow, Drury had no chance. 78-mile-an-hour curve. And Burnes is at his third strikeout already. One away. And that'll bring up the next batter, Nolan Shanwell. Shanwell made a nice little splash in his call-up at the end of last season as a rookie. 275 with the 1 home run. Here's a swing and a foul back. The Angels have a lot of question marks with their offense and their pitching staff. But if guys like Shanwell can develop, like any team, you have some hope that they can be competitive. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Shanwell, and it's a breaking ball, foul back. 81 miles an hour, top of the zone on the outside corner. And the pitch is low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Angels' first baseman here with 1 out here in the top of the second. The Orioles lead 2-1 here on opening day. A slight delay for first pitch, but otherwise we are good to go for baseball. This one's lifted in the air to right center. Mullins and now the right fielder Santander cutting it off to make the catch. That ball was hit right between them, and it looked for a moment like it could find a place to drop in, but Santander able to chase it down for out number 2. Hey, Space, I appreciate the like. And then steps the hefty right-handed designated hitter Miguel Sano, and he takes one low and away. Burnes, when he's missing low and away to right-handed batters. Sano spent 8 seasons with the Twins before the Angels signed him in the offseason. He had 162 home runs in that time, so averaging 20 home runs a season. He definitely has power, but he's always struggled to maintain a decent average or get on base much. 1-1 the count on him with the bases empty, 2 down here in the top of the second. And the next pitch is a breaking ball for a called strike and a generous one. The animation of the zone there showed that pitch probably about 4 inches below, but it was a curveball with a lot of break, and the umpire might have just given up on it, thinking that had to have caught the zone somewhere. 1-2 the count, and there's another breaking ball, check swing, no need to appeal. Sano goes around, and Burnes gets another strikeout. A better inning from the ace. 3 up, 3 down, go the Angels. We head to the bottom of the second, and it's the Orioles 2, the Angels 1. 4 strikeouts for Burnes through the first 2 innings. 20 strikes on 30 pitches. due up for Baltimore in the bottom of the inning. It should be Urias, Mateo, and back to the top of the order in Gunnar Henderson. What's LBS there, RC? I'm terrible with acronyms. Because you say something that sounds like a compliment, and then you follow it with an LOL and an acronym I don't know. So I'm guessing maybe you're being facetious, and I'm calling a terrible game. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got 161 more games after this. Maybe by game like 148, I might figure it out. Meanwhile, I don't think there's much to show in terms of a scoreboard out of town. There's no other games starting for another, 15, 20 minutes. The games that were set to start before now were rained out. So I do believe, 10 minutes after the top of the hour, we'll have the Tigers and White Sox getting underway, along with the Twins and Royals, Yankees and Astros. That'll be a fun one. Pirates and Marlins, Giants and Padres, Cardinals and Dodgers. Wow, a lot of teams playing at the same time. Blue Jays and Rays, Nationals and Reds, all playing and starting in about 25 minutes. The Cubs will be taking on the Rangers in the evening. And then out west, the Indians and A's, Red Sox at Seattle, Rockies at Arizona. And, of course, 2 games were postponed, Brewers, Mets, and Braves, Phillies. Here's Ramon Urias taking a first pitch strike to begin the bottom of the second. The next pitch from Sandoval is a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count even up at 1-1. Oh, can I not work for Fox? I have ethical issues. The 1-1 is a high fastball fouled back by Urias. 1-2 the count. Has everybody got their snacks? I went out and I got myself some snacks. I've got my latte here. What's that kid doing in the crowd with a Cubs hat on? Don't you understand the occasion, kid? 1-2 the count on Urias, leading off the bottom of the second. The next pitch is up and in, 2-2. Hey, here's hoping that we get at least one home run today so everyone can hear my patented bye-bye birdie call. It's sweeping the nation, don't you know? The 2-2 is outside, and the count runs full as Sandoval. I don't see him lasting more than 4 innings plus. If he completes 5 full innings, I will be in shock. Full count here to the leadoff man in the bottom of the second. Jorge Mateo on deck. The payoff pitch is laced to left. On the ground to third. Rendon struggles with it and won't be able to recover in time. Urias will make it the first. Let's see how they score that. I think that should be an error. Rendon pretty much just straight up booted this one. Yeah, that's an error all the way. And Rendon, wow. If you had any reason to hate on Rendon, you've got another reason to, because that looked like, you know what that looked like? That looked like Roger Dorn from Major League at third base. The overpaid veteran who just simply didn't really want to try for the ball. That was absolute garbage from Rendon. It has to be said. It's a straight-up error to lead it off. And here comes Jorge Mateo now with a runner on and nobody out. First pitch to him is a called strike. A slider at the bottom of the zone. And the 0-1 offering. A swing and a miss. Sandoval took a few miles off that pitch, and Mateo was lunging out in front of that one. No balls and 2 strikes. on the Orioles' second baseman. And the next offering from Sandoval is a breaking ball fouled away. Who are you referring to there, Pure? What couldn't happen to a nicer guy? See, this is what happens. I check back on the chat, and it's probably something that was referencing something I've already forgotten about. The 0-2 to Mateo is fouled back. A high fastball. Mateo fights it off. Count remains 0 balls and 2 strikes. Sandoval is starting to find the zone with a little more frequency in this inning, but the Orioles are just sort of following them away and spoiling his pitches. Here's another 0-2. Low for ball 1. Oh, the Rendon error. Yeah. Wait till you see it, Pierre. Maybe I bet you it's on Twitter. I bet you Twitter is really handing it to Rendon. Here's a swing and a foul back. That pitch up at the top of the zone. Mateo did well to stay alive. The count's still 1-2. Runner at first with 2 down. Here in the bottom of the second. Excuse me. I said with 2 down. I'm reading the scoreboard completely. There's nobody out. I was way off on the outs. Okay, nobody out. And here's a swing and a ground ball, third base side, and fair. Gets past the third baseman, Rendon. Can you believe it? And Urias is going to go first to third. And Mateo is in with a double. My goodness. Another rally underway here in the bottom of the second. Second and third, nobody out. And now the top of the order coming up. 2 runners in scoring position for Gunnar Henderson. My goodness. My goodness. Hold on a sec. I want to get ready to rock here. Come on, Gunnar. Let's cash these runs in. First pitch is taken just off the... Oh, no, it's a late strike call from the umpire. That ball was about an inch off the plate outside. But Sandoval, given the call there, 0-1 on Henderson. He walked back in the first and scored the first run of the game for the Orioles. Here's a swing and a foul ball, and quickly Henderson's in the hole 0-2. All right, this is where you find out just how good of a ball player you are. You're in an 0-2 hole. You're facing a same-side pitcher that you don't have as much success against as you would against a righty, but you got second and third. Can you do something to just put the ball in play and drive a run in? And instead, Gunnar chases a ball in the dirt and strikes out. That was rough. A rough at-bat there for Gunnar Henderson. Big RBI spot, but there's still only one away. Adley Rutschman at the plate. The Orioles still have a chance to cash in at least 1 run without the benefit of a hit. Let's see what Adley can do. First pitch swinging, he fouls it back. That fastball was in the zone. Rutschman a little bit behind. Adley singled and scored the second run of this game. The infield is playing in. The pitch is hit on the ground and through the drawn in infield for a base hit. 1 run is in. Mateo can fly around, and he will score. It's a 2-run single for Adley Rutschman, and the Orioles have extended their lead. It's now 4-1. I tell you, this lineup, top to bottom, it's hard to find a spot to just relax as an opposing pitcher. I would not have drawn the infield in there. Oh, that made it so easy. And with the speed of Mateo coming around from second base, 2 runs score easily on that single. So Rutschman already 2 hits, a run scored, and 2 runs driven in, and we're in the 2nd inning of the season. Just put this guy in the MVP conversation now. Here's Ryan Mountcastle, 1 down, Rutschman at first. The pitch is swung on and fouled back, and the count 1-1 on him. Pull, if it's a game where the Orioles score 2 runs in every inning, I don't mind calling a 4-hour game. That's fine by me. Just score 2 runs every inning, and I'll be a happy camper. Runner at first, 1 down, the pitch, and Mountcastle fouls it off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 runs in here. 4-1 Orioles. And Sandoval is about to throw his 50th pitch here in the 2nd inning. And this one's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's right, Pure. Don't you love projecting season stats on opening day? I love it too. We can dream, can't we? A 324 RBI season from a catcher? That would be pretty good. Here's an inside-out swing by Mountcastle on a 2-strike pitch. That one gets down, and going first to third is Rutschman, and the line keeps on moving. First and third, still only 1 out. And at this point, I got to think the Angels need to get somebody up in their bullpen because Sandoval simply does not have it. That's the 2nd inside-out swing to drop into shallow right field for a hit. And, yep, here comes the manager. Just as I would have thought. Well, they're coming out to talk. I would assume maybe they don't have anybody ready yet, but this is near the end of the line for Sandoval. 4 runs in, runners at the corners, and only 1 out here in the 2nd. They're probably talking about, hey, look, figure out a way to throw a double play ball here, get us out of the inning, and maybe you can work another inning or 2. But otherwise, we got to go to the pen. The lefty Suarez getting loose for the Angels, number 54, stocky left-handed pitcher. And sure, bring out another lefty to replace the lefty. I'm fine with that. We put out a lineup that's designed to be optimal for a left-handed pitcher. So, yeah, bring out another lefty to replace Sandoval. I'll be happy. Here's Santander now. Runners at the corners, 1 out. And the pitch is a breaking ball, called a strike. Oof. That might have been an inch or 2 off the outside edge. Big break. Santander was right to just lay off, but it's called a strike. 0-1 on Santander. And in his first at-bat, did he strike out? He did not get a hit. This one's a called strike on the outside edge. Boy, 2 tough pitches, and Santander is in the hole 0-2. Oh, that's right. Tony grounded out, but he drove in a run in the process back in the 2nd inning. No, I'm sorry. We're in the 2nd inning. Back in the 1st inning. We're going through this lineup a 2nd time here in the 2nd inning. The 0-2 pitch to Santander. Wow. Sandoval holds the ball forever, and this ball's up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once again, folks, it's good to have you here. If you're checking out my channel for the first time, I'm glad you found me. My name's Steve, a.k.a. the BirdWatcher. Die-hard Orioles fans for life. I bleed orange and black. My doctor doesn't know what to do about it. I told him, don't worry. It's a thing. And I'm here to bring you Orioles coverage, play-by-play coverage during games. Feel free to hang out. Join the chat if you'd like. It does require you to hang out for a minute at least and subscribe. But, hopefully you understand that's sort of a safety measure to prevent those that just want to come in and, cause a ruckus. Well, if you want to cause a ruckus, you got to wait a minute. Here's a fly ball out to left center field. Mike Trout makes the catch. Tagging up and coming in to score is who comes in there? Henderson. Who came in? Oh, yeah, Henderson comes in to score, right? No. Rutschman comes in to score. I'm sorry. I'll get it right one day, folks. Wow, Adley Rutschman, 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in and 2 for 2 in the second inning. 5-1 Orioles now here in the bottom of the second. Runner at first, 2 down. And the batter is Austin Hayes. Swing and a foul back. Hayes struck out in his first at-bat. The 0-1 Hayes from Sandoval is up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball in on the hands. The 1-1 pitch is a sweeping slider that lands below the zone for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Oh, call it a changeup, if you will. The 2-1 is hit on the ground. A shortstop and booted by the shortstop. My goodness, Zach Neto. That should be another error. It was hit in the hole. It would have been taken a strong, accurate throw to get him out, but I got to think that's an error, right? Is that the second error? Or are they going to give? Are they going to give him a hit? Apparently, Hayes is given credit for a hit on that one. We'll take it. The Orioles are ready with 6 hits, and here comes the manager now. Who is that, Ron Washington? And Sandoval's day is over. He cannot get through 2 innings. 5 runs are in. He only recorded 5 outs, and he's got, at least 1 run on base that's his responsibility. So a bad first start here for Sandoval. And let's be honest, in terms of the outlook for the Angels this season, a bad omen. It feels like a microcosm of what to expect. Questionable pitching and questionable offense outside of Mike Trout. Mike Trout gave you the home run, but what's he supposed to do? Hit solo home runs 4 times a game? You're still going to have to hold your opponent to 3 runs or less to win, even in that situation. The pitch clock is here, and I'm sure it's here to stay, Card. Pitch count. I've heard rumor about they're putting a strict limit on a pitch count for pitchers. I don't know anything about that, and I think that's a pretty silly idea. I mean, somebody brought it up in a chat the other day, talking about like 85 pitches, and then you can't throw another. It's like, well, what if you're throwing a no-hitter? And what if you're effectively pitching? You haven't lost your velocity. You haven't lost your command. You're feeling it. If you were to have a pitch count limit, you'd pretty much eliminate no-hitters. I mean, you might have like a bullpen-aided no-hitter, but, I mean, let's be honest. Is that as fun as a guy that goes out there and goes the full 9? I don't know. I hope they don't do that. I'm all about doing things to keep these athletes from getting injured quicker than they should have to be, because they're putting their bodies out there on the line. But at some point, you got to draw a line between protecting players and saying, listen, this is a competitive game. There's risk There's inherent risk of injury. And that's the trade-off. Jose Suarez, the lefty, is out here to pitch now, and his first pitch to Ramon Urias is low and Jordan Westberg at the plate. Urias to follow. Westberg had an RBI single back in the first. He's up there now with 2 on and 2 out. A chance to drive in another run, maybe more. 5-1 Orioles here in the bottom of the second. The Angels are already in their bullpen. Suarez's next pitch is grounded foul off to the right, 1-1. So yeah, PAS, if you're still here, maybe you could give Card an official response to that pitch count question. I have no knowledge of such a thing being implemented now or anytime soon. Here's a swing and a ground ball. Rendon with a diving stop throws to second to get the force. The ball bounced there, but the second baseman did well to field that one, and that will retire the side. The Orioles, however, after 2 runs in the first, tack on 3 more and chase the starter out of the ball game with a 3-run inning. 5 runs on 6 hits through the first 2 innings. The Orioles will head to the third, leading this one 5-1. Fantastic. All right, and by the way, in terms of games going on around the league, we should start seeing some first pitches here relatively soon. In the next 5 minutes or so. Again, about a half a dozen games or so, all beginning at the same time. Due up for the Angels, by the way, in the top of the third, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Ohapi, Neto, and back to the top of the order in Rendon. Oh, by the way, can we find that Rendon error? Let's see. I got a feeling that Rendon error is going to be up here. Okay, here we go. Here's the boot by Rendon. Right there. It's right to him. He's scooping it up, and then he just boots the ball. So there's Rendon screwing up. Rendon makes up for his error with a diving play in the second inning. Yep, that tweet pretty much sums things up. Rendon strikes out, Hicks strikes out. Trout home run, and then a pop out. Again, next time Trout comes up, even though we have a comfortable, I say comfortable, I mean, considering we're only 2 innings in, to have a 4-run lead, that feels nice. All I'm saying is, when Trout comes up again, unless it's a situation where you can't avoid it, just don't give him any pitches to hit. All right, here's Ohapi. First pitch strike. Second one is foul back. It's 0-2 on the Angels catcher. Right-handed hitter. Last season in 51 games, hit .236, 14 homers, 29 driven in. He does have pretty good pop for a catcher. The 0-2 pitch to him is in the dirt. Ohapi with a bit of a check swing. They appeal, no swing, and the count 1-2. Let's see what Burnes' pitch count is at here in a sec. This one's swinging a high pop-up on the infield. Mountcastle in position to make the catch. He does, and there's one away here in the top of the third. Rendon needs to retire. Well, you see, Steel City, Rendon has a list of priorities. Here's his list of priorities. Family, God, his contract, and then baseball. So since his contract means more than baseball, no, he's not going to retire. He's going to sit around and collect a paycheck doing nothing. Then he'll retire. Here's Zach Neto, the final batter for either team to get his first look at the plate. The number 9 hitter for the Angels. 1-0 the count on him. And the next pitch is a nice curveball in there for a called strike. 1-1. That's just 36 pitches now for Burnes. So he's on a nice pace here in the third inning. The 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss. Oof, is that the sinker? The bottom dropped out of that one. And there's a shot of John Angelos there in one of the suites. You know, say what you want about him, but to see him here at the park, knowing that we're in a new era of baseball and he's no longer a part of it, it's like, fine. Hey, you want to hang out and check out the product on the field? Feel free. We'll take it from here, Mr. Angelos. And there's a shot of Mike Elias in the crowd. I love the fact that Elias is always sitting just a few rows back behind home plate. Here's a swing and a foul back from Neto. Is it Neto or Neto? I think I've said both already, hoping that one is right. 2-2 on him. One down, nobody on here in the top of the third. The Orioles lead this one 5-1. Burnes' next pitch is low and in and swung on and missed. Oh, the movement on that pitch was filthy. What was that pitch? Another curveball. I tell you what, he's got this curveball that moves differently. If he starts it middle outside, it breaks to the left, middle inside. It breaks two different directions. Here's Rendon. First pitch to him is low for ball one. Rendon 0 for 1. He's made an error in the field, but he also helped the Angels get out of the inning with a pretty decent play to end the bottom of the second. Next pitch is a high fastball a little above the zone, and the count 2-0. How you guys doing out there? Orioles baseball. Come on, O's. Let's go. Three 3-0 the count. Burnes falling behind Rendon here with 2 down, nobody on. The 3-0 is taken all the way for a called strike. This will be pitch 45 upcoming, which puts Burnes on an average of 15 pitches an inning. That's right about average. This one's popped up. Off the end of the bat from Rendon. Mateo, the second baseman, out in the shallow right center, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Burnes gets through another inning of scoreless ball. We'll head to the bottom of the third. The Orioles lead this one 5-1. Due up in the bottom of the third will be the bottom of the order: Cedric Mullins, Ramon Urias, and Jorge Mateo. Urias has a run scored. Mateo as well, a base hit and a run scored. Chat, what's shaking? Talk to me. What do you see? What do you like? What do you know? This is a community, for God's sakes. How you doing? Huh? Me? By the way, I noticed on the MLB.com site, when I look up probable pitchers, as I often do once the season's underway, I always like to look ahead and see who's lined up for the probable pitchers. Neither the Angels or the Orioles have an official pitcher named for the Saturday game. And I'm thinking, why not? Why don't you have him? We're getting kind of close here. I mean, for the Orioles, the expectation is Grayson Rodriguez. But at the moment, it's not official. Are you going to let me hover over this? And then it's like as soon as you... There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So, yeah, tomorrow is an off day. You skip ahead to the 30th. And we're about to get underway here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Mullins is upstairs for ball one. Oh, they do have it up now. I do apologize. Before I took my nap before the stream, this said TBA and TBA. The 0-1 or the 1-0 to Mullins is low, 2-0. So indeed, it'll be Grayson Rodriguez on the mound, and he'll be taking on the right-handed Griffin Canning. A right-hander. Boy, wouldn't you like to have seen Jackson Holliday maybe playing tomorrow? The 2-0 is pop foul behind the plate. Mullins has a 2-1 count on him now, leading off here in the top of the third. Excuse me, bottom of the third. Next pitch is a swing and a miss, and a bad swing there by Mullins. A pitch up and in. His mechanics just do not look right at the plate to me. They didn't look right in the spring, and they still don't look right to me. Something is going on with Mullins at the plate. The 2-2 pitch to him is hit foul off to the left. I mean, if his legs are going to be an issue, if his bat is going to be an issue, we know he's got a great glove, but if two of your other three tools aren't working, that's tough. And we don't really have another center fielder as anywhere near as athletic as Mullins. Hayes can handle center. Here's a pop-up foul ground, and making the catch is Ohapi, leaning against the brick railing behind the backstop there. So it's a pop-out foul to the catcher, who had just a couple of inches to spare to make that catch. So there you go. Mullins popping out in a very weak fashion. And another at-bat that really makes you wonder what's going on with Mullins right now. One down, and here's Urias. He takes one low for ball one. Hey there, Bass Heck. Or is it bass? I forgot. You're the bass player, right? Or are you like Marty Bass? I look a little bit like Don Scott. I would love to have a Marty Bass to go with my Don Scott. And then it would really be a Baltimore channel. Let's go. Up and into Urias, and the count 2-1. Again, Suarez out here to relieve Sandoval, who could not get through 2 innings. Urias reached on an error in his first at-bat, swung on and tapped foul at the plate, 2-2. You think your Blue Jays don't play until tomorrow? Were they rained out? This one's upstairs, but Urias takes a hack and is only able to foul it back. What's your team? Blue Jays? You're not playing today? No, you're playing. You're playing. Where are you? You're playing Tampa Bay right now. It's going into the bottom of the first. Here's a ground ball hit off the end of the bat to the shortstop. That'll be a routine play. Urias retired on a ground out. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. I'm hovering over their box score right now. You see this? Toronto and Tampa, middle of the first. I promise I wouldn't make a statement that, yes, they are playing right now unless I was 100% sure. I don't like to make a habit of making a statement that I'm not sure of, because ultimately you get proven wrong and then you feel like an idiot. And I like to avoid feeling like an idiot as much as I can, because inevitably I will feel like an idiot from time to time. So let me try to at least prevent those occasions by not speaking out of turn. But yeah, you guys are underway, along with a lot of other games going on right now. Just getting underway. Here's the 2-1 to Mateo. It's inside. Mateo takes a hack. His helmet falls off. It's a foul ball. The count even up at 2-2. 2 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. The 2-2 is swung on and hit well to left, but to the deepest part of Baltimore. There will be room out there for Ward to make the catch, and the inning is over. So the Orioles go 1-2-3 here in the third after a couple of very productive innings at the plate. At the end of 3, they lead this one 5-1. There is a lot of lag from when I type to when it shows up on your screen. So when I typed it, you hadn't checked yet. My uber slow internet at work again. Oh, no worries. No worries. No worries. Yeah, it's all going to be a part of the, hopefully not too much of a struggle. I mean, just think of the logistics. I'm in Thailand watching a broadcast coming from America and then relaying what I'm seeing over the internet back to other people in America. Like, I wonder exactly how much time passes between the actual ball being thrown by a pitcher and when I see it, and then when you hear me talk about it. Hopefully it ain't long. All right. We're only going to the bottom of the third. My goodness, this does feel like a long game already. Opening day, folks. The Orioles trying to start a new winning streak. I don't know if you remember, but last year they kind of ended on a 3-game losing streak to some team named Texas. I don't know what that Texas team went on to do, but boy, they took care of us. That was then. This is now. Here's a little graphic showing the Orioles' major transactions in the offseason, signing Craig Kimbrell in December. Traded for Burnes on February 1st. Joey Ortiz and DL Hall heading to Milwaukee. Kyle Bradish has been placed on the 15-day IL today, I guess to clear up a roster spot. And John Means is on the IL as well. Again, if you weren't here at the beginning of my broadcast, Nick Vespi is on the Orioles staff replacing Jacob Webb, who's away on paternity leave. Okay, we're underway in the top of the fourth, and the first pitch to Aaron Hicks is a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike. Hicks struck out back in the first. The next offering is a curveball outside, 1-1. Outside of the home run ball given up to Mike Trout, Corbin Burnes has looked like the ace that he is. And his relationship with Adley Rutschman seems to be developing quickly here. This one's inside, 2-1. This still says middle of the fourth. Oh, is this inning already over? How can that be? How can there already be 3 outs in the top of the fourth? Well, apparently I'm getting some lag in myself here. 2-2 the count on Hicks, leading off the top of the fourth. But apparently the Angels are going to go quickly in this inning because the animation on ESPN is already saying it's the middle of the fourth. This one's outside and the count runs full. How can I be this far behind? This has to be an error. Let me go ahead and refresh this. How can they already be in the middle of the fourth? I've been 1 or 2 pitches behind, but not 3 batters. Yeah, oh, it's still saying it's going to the bottom of the third here. Yeah, this is all kinds of... Who knows what's happening here? Payoff pitch coming to Hicks. And it's on the low outside corner. Hicks gets a bat to it, grounded near the second base bag. The shortstop, shaded that way, is able to make the play. Henderson throws out Hicks. And the Angels are retired, or their leadoff hitter is retired to begin the top of the fourth. Okay, it looks like things have caught back up. And Mike Trout is now stepping in. Okay, so a bit of a glitch there on the website, but we're back where we need to be. With it one down, here's Trout. Now, please, Corbin. Careful. Okay. That's a strike. 96 mile an hour. Bottom of the zone. Outer half. I can live with that. The 0-1 to Trout. This one's on the top of the zone, and it's 0-2. All right, fine. If you get to 0-2 on Trout, go ahead and try and put him out. Just don't give him anything good to hit here. Make him chase. The 0-2. Oh, what a pitch there. Fastball outside corner, belt high, and Trout was late. A 3-pitch strikeout of Mike Trout. And, boy, that was Burnes almost saying, hey, you got me on that first at-bat? Guess what, buddy? Wow. Fantastic 3-pitch strikeout of one of the best hitters of this generation. Trout goes back to the bench, 2 down. And Taylor Ward at the plate with the bases empty here in the top of the fourth. 5-1 Orioles. Burnes trying to get through the fourth inning under 60 pitches. This is a breaking ball. Oh, my goodness. Ward gave up on it, and it nips the top of the zone. That's not the first time today that Burnes has thrown a breaking ball that catches the top of the zone. Traditionally, breaking balls, curveballs, you start at the top of the zone and you try to hit the bottom. But he's throwing some high curveballs and to good effect. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ward, who popped out back in the first. The pitch is just a bit off the plate inside. A slider that Burnes tried a front door on Ward, but didn't quite catch the corner. If it wasn't a slider, it was a hard-thrown curve. The 2-2 pitch, this one's low and away, and the count runs full. So Burnes now is at 60 pitches. Again, throwing about 15 pitches an inning. Let's see if he can go ahead and put Ward away here on this final pitch. It's popped up, but it's going to go back foul, and we're going to have another one. I'm sure Burnes is on some sort of pitch count that's a little bit lower than it will be once the season is up and running and stamina has been built up with these starters. But hopefully he can get through 6 innings. Here's a swing and a miss, another big curveball, and that pitch has been working wonders for Burnes today. Another strikeout. The Angels go 1-2-3. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Orioles 5, the Angels 1. That is strikeout number 5 for Burnes in 3 innings. So, yeah, he's on pace to maybe go 6 innings, give up 2 hits, and strike out 10 without walking anybody. Those sound like ace numbers to me. Out-of-town score check. I see nothing but zeros across the board so far. And, in fact, that is the case. No runs yet on these afternoon starts. But I'll keep an eye on those out-of-town scores for you. Give me a sec to go grab a little something. I'll be right back. I've come to realize that, yes, indeed, there's just no way for me to call games that go on for hours and hours without, taking a little bit of a break. Hold on. righty then. How is everything looking here? I need to get a ring light. It's just not very nice lighting, is it? There's a shot of the Orioles crowd. And the first pitch here to lead it off here in the bottom of the fourth is up and in to Gunnar Henderson. Henderson up for the third time already, leading off the fourth. He's 0 for 1, but has a walk and has scored a run. Here's a ground ball to the right side and through past the second baseman in the right field for a leadoff single. So first hit of the season for Henderson. Turn on the sprinkler, or turn on the faucet, I should say. And that's off a lefty, Suarez. So good to see from Henderson. Not trying to do too much. Just get a level swing and pull the ball through on the hole on the right side. Leadoff man on here in the bottom of the fourth. And here come the boys. Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, and Anthony Santander to follow. Rutschman will continue to bat from the right side here with the reliever Suarez, the southpaw. And the first pitch to the Oriole catcher is a strike high in the zone. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Rutschman again through 2 innings today. 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. Not too shabby of a start. This one's low and away, 1-1. We do have some scores running in. Okay, Poole will be our out-of-town scoreman. The Rays take a 1-0 lead on the Blue Jays, apparently, and the Twins and Royals are knotted up at 1. Here's a check on the runner. Henderson slides back in safely. Could Rutschman have a huge opening day? He's already got a good opening day, 2 for 2. Here's a ground ball tapped foul off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 to Rutschman is low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Henderson at first. Bottom of the fourth, the Orioles ahead by 4, 5-1. They chased the starter Sandoval early. He had to leave in the second inning. Now we're in the fourth. And this ball's popped foul. Count remains 2-2. What was your initial take on the Angels, Fitz? What were you expecting from the Angels? The 2-2 is hit on the ground to third. Rendon will go to second, and they get the force. Wow, that was a close play. Rendon took a risk there, going for the force play at second, and you can see the Orioles are on the phone to make sure that that's not a play worth reviewing. It does look on first. Yeah, he's out. He's out. No need to challenge that. Credit to Rendon. That was a good play on his part. He had to make a snap decision and make an accurate throw to get the lead runner, and he did just that. So 1 down. Rutschman's on base with a fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle, 1 for 1 with a walk. He takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner. And the Dodgers have broken out with 2 runs in the first. Of course they did. Of course they did. Where's Ohtani in the lineup there, Poole? Ohtani do anything? Here's one upstairs, and Mountcastle chases. 0-2 the count. Rutschman over at first base on base now for the third time of the day, though to be fair, this time via the fielder's choice. This one's in the dirt. In the count 1-2 on Mountcastle. Suarez in the stretch. The pitch is low, and Mountcastle chased one. Oof, that was not a good swing. That ball started low and wound up in the dirt. Mountcastle with a flailing swing, and he will strike out here. 2 down. In steps Santander. 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice RBI. And Tony swings and lifts one deep to left field. This ball is going to fly over Baltimore. Bye-bye, birdie. The first home run of the season for the Orioles comes from Anthony Santander, taking on the left field wall and winning. That ball got out of here in a hurry. Anthony Santander makes it 7-1 with a 2-run jack with 2 out here in the 4th. Boy, is this offense scary. Is this offense scary or what? And I'm telling you right now, against lefties, we have a weaker lineup than we do against righties. And with righties, you throw Ryan O'Hearn in there. Eventually Jackson Holiday. You don't have to start Mateo. You don't have to start Urias. Seven to 1 Orioles now after that 2-run bomb from Anthony Santander. I'm expecting a huge season. It's a contract year for Santander. 1-1 the count here on Hayes, and he takes upstairs 2-1. That's right, base. The Orioles. Apparently, they have not caught up here on the scoreboard, but trust me, it's 7-1. Ohtani has a hit. Perfect. I believe that was the prop bet he placed. Ohtani placed a bet for 1 hit for himself today. Here's a pitch in the dirt, and it bounces away. Base is empty, though, so no worries. The count runs full here on Austin Hayes. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Hayes chased one low and in, and that'll end the inning. But the Orioles tack on 2 more. In 4 innings, they've put on runs on the board in 3 of them, multiple runs. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more in the 4th. At the end of 4, it's the Orioles 7, the Angels 1. In fact, this scoreboard says 5-1, but as you can see right here on this says 5-1, but boy, I'm counting these numbers, and they seem to add up to 7. Nice interface you got here, ESPN. Hey, if you need to hire somebody to, put the correct stats in on this thing, I'm available. So Santander now has 4 RBI today already. He had the fielder's choice ground out in the first inning for RBI number 1. Another sac fly in the second for RBI number 2, and then the 2-run homer there in the 4th. 4 RBI, driven in 4 of the 7 Oriole runs. Due up for the Angels in the 5th, Aaron Hicks, Mike Trout, and Tyler Ward. Get those out-of-town scores up here. Yeah, I don't think these scores are really updating on their own either. Everything still says nothing, nothing. You know, I expect this sort of thing during spring training, but once the regular season starts, come on. Can we keep this up to date? 7 runs on 8 hits through the first 4 innings for Baltimore. First pitch swinging here to Brandon Drury, who fouls one off to the left as Corbin Burnes begins his 5th inning of work. Just one mistake by Burnes in this game. A pitch left out for Mike Trout in the first that got hit over the left center field wall into the bullpen. 1-1 the count on Brandon Drury, leading off the top of the 5th. And the next pitch is hit back up towards second. Mateo on a bounce makes the play, and there's one away. Since that Trout homer, Burnes has been virtually unhittable. It's the only hit he's given up so far, and he hasn't walked a batter. Actually, I'll take it back. That's not virtually unhittable. That's just plain unhittable. Google has live scoring, but they also have they don't really have like an animated interface like this showing you ball strikes, pitch speed, pitch type. This will eventually make sense. I'm sure of it. Here's a ball low to Nolan Shanwell, who now has a 1-1 count. 1 down, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. It's 7-1 Orioles, folks. Don't let that 5-1 score line fool you. Take a look down here and just add these runs up right here. Here's a strike 1-2 on Shanwell. This will be the 69th pitch of the game here for Burnes. 44 strikes, 24 balls thus far. Swing and a miss. He gets Shanwell to chase one outside. Rack up another strikeout for Burnes. 2 down here in the top of the 5th. I mean, the movement on some of these pitches are absolutely filthy. That'll bring up Miguel Sano. 2 down, nobody on. The pitch is taken for a called strike. A cutter on the outside edge. 94 miles an hour from Burnes. I hope not, Poole. I don't really know where to put that scoreboard. I'm sitting sort of at an angle. Swing and a miss. Sano. No chance on that pitch that wound up in the dirt. 0-2 on him. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it right now. Sano's about to strike out. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. And there you go. A breaking ball in the dirt. Sano chases. Inning over. Burnes adds 2 more strikeouts to his total. Through 5 innings, he's given up just the 1 hit, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. So far, so good from our top offseason acquisition. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Orioles 7. Believe me, the Angels 1. I mean, I could go over here and just in case people were worried, there you go. There is the actual score. But again, not much else to look at in terms of eye candy. But if you want the Google score, which is the correct score, there it is. Maybe ESPN will get their act together at some point. Surely somebody is monitoring this stuff. The Orioles will have the top of the order due up in the bottom of the 5th. Boy, it feels like, is this the 4th time through the lineup? Houston taking a 3-0 lead on the Yankees in the top of the 2nd. Let's go. So all 3 runs must have been in the bottom of the first. That game's in Houston, right? So who did the Yankees have out there for opening day? It's not Stroman. Is it Rodon or is it somebody else? Who's on the mound out there for the Yankees? Getting hurt in the first inning. Your call of the game is so much more entertaining than the local radio here in Baltimore. I can't wait till they bring up Holiday. Going to be fun to watch that kid. Hey, Base, if you enjoy my call of a game, do me a favor, will you, and spread the word. I am looking for Baltimore fans. I live out here in Thailand. I miss the Baltimore community. I want to reconnect, and this is the best way to do it. Here we go. Bottom of the 5th. And excuse me, I was wrong about who was due up. I thought that didn't make sense. It's another mistake on the interface here. Jordan Westberg is leading off here in the bottom of the 5th, and he is currently facing a 2-1 count off this Angels reliever, Suarez. Next pitch is hit on the ground to short. Should be routine. Short across to first in time. 1 away. They put Nestor Cortez out there, huh? Wow. Opening day starter for your $300 million Yankees, Nestor Cortez Jr. Woo! The Reds take an early 3-0 lead on the Nats. First pitch to Mullins is inside. 1 down, nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. Orioles 7, Angels 1. Mullins is 0 for 2 so far. And again, I'm looking for a solid at-bat from him at the plate. Even if he hits into an out, I just want to see some solid contact. I want to see him look comfortable at the plate. And so far, not seeing it. 1-1 the count on Mullins. Giants take a 1-0 lead on the Padres. He looks at a called strike, and the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 is swung on and hit back up the middle. The shortstop on the second base side of the bag makes the play and throws out Cedric Mullins. 2 down on 2 ground ball outs. And that'll bring up Ramon Urias, who's 0 for 2. So Suarez came in to relieve Sandoval and got into trouble himself, giving up a couple of runs before the Angels could get out of that 4th inning. But so far, he's gotten the first couple of outs here in the 5th and trying to slow this Orioles offense down. Here's Urias. First pitch to him is off the plate, 1-0. Urias 0 for 2. Next one is in there, a called strike. Belt high in the outside corner. I don't need an out-of-town scoreboard. Pool is our out-of-town scoreboard. And here's a chopper hit slowly towards short. Here's a barehanded pickup by Neto, and he throws across. I think I called him Zach Short earlier. I apologize. It's Zach Neto. That's his name, right? I was thinking of another Zach. But yeah, Neto with a nice barehanded play on a softly hit ball in the infield. And that'll end the inning. We're through 5 here in Baltimore. The Orioles lead this one. Let me show you here on this one. 7-1. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 1 run on just the Mike Trout solo homer for the only hit, plus an error for the Angels. As we go to the 6th, I would expect Burnes to come out to begin the inning, and hopefully he'll get through one more solid inning of work, depending on where the pitch count is. Maybe there's a chance to come out for the 7th, but I got a feeling they're not going to want to push him too hard, and with a 6-run cushion and a day off tomorrow, we could probably afford to use a few arms out of the bullpen to see this game through. So, yeah, let's get him a quality start. Let's get him through 6 innings and try to get our bullpen some work. Now, obviously, once we're a few starts into the season, I want Burnes to go deep. I want 7 innings on a regular basis. But first start of the season, I'll take 6. All right, enough of this scoreboard. Again, it's Orioles 7, Angels 1, and ESPN. You know what? I'm just going to hit refresh and see if that does anything. Maybe. Hey, it worked. All right, from now on, if there's something weird going on ESPN, I'll just hit refresh. It's amazing what refreshing can do. And Burnes indeed is out there to begin the top of the 6th. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike to Logan O'Hoppe. O'Hoppe. 0 for 1 with a pop-out back in the 3rd. This is just his second at-bat here in the 6th. This one's hit well to left. Austin Hayes heading toward the splash zone in deep left center field makes the catch. That ball is probably a home run in this park a few years ago before they extended that left field wall. So that worked to our advantage. First out of the inning. And here's Zach Neto, who made a nice defensive play in the last half of the inning to retire the Orioles. 0 for 1 today. His first pitch is fouled back. Google might let you pin live score on screen. How would I do that? I wouldn't know how to do that. Plus, by the way, again, I figured it out. I hit refresh and it worked. So let's try that. From now on, if something ain't right, refresh. Houston adds another run. They've now scored 4 off Cortez early. 4-0 Houston over the Yankees. The 0-2 pitch is a check swing, and he went. No need to appeal. The home plate umpire makes the call, and Burnes adds another strikeout. I believe he's up to 9 now. No, that's 10. Double-digit strikeouts for Burnes already, with 2 down here in the 6th. No walks, 10 strikeouts, 1 hit. Here's a breaking ball that catches the top inside corner. Burnes has got a breaking ball that nips the top of the zone. I've never seen a pitcher like go to it as like a purpose pitch. Sometimes it gets away from a pitcher and, you nip the top of the zone. But normally with a breaking ball, you're trying to get a hitter to chase a pitch dropping low and out of the zone. Burnes is starting pitches that are way above the zone. Hitters are giving up, and then it's just dropping into the top of the zone. 1-1 the count on Rendon, who's 0 for 2. And here's one that breaks low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 down here in the top of the 6th. The next offering is foul back. That one was a little bit off the outside edge. Rendon went after it. Fouls it back to make the count 2-2. Burnes now at 81 pitches. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume he might be facing his final batter right here. Somewhere around 85 pitches sounds good for opening day. Breaking ball, top of the zone again. Again with the high breaking ball, nipping the top of the zone. Rendon strikes out looking. 11 strikeouts through 6 innings of fantastic baseball by Corbin Burnes. 1 mistake back in the first. Otherwise, it's been elite. I don't know what else to say. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Orioles lead this 7-1. Heart of the order coming up. Rutschman, Mountcastle, and Santander. Whew. There aren't a whole lot of negatives to talk about so far. And I got my cap sitting over here in case I need to put it on for a rally, but right now, no rally cap needed. I'll start a rally of another sort. All right. Yep, Spaceman, what's going on? Cortez as an opening day starter, maybe not the best move. I mean, what are your options? I can't, Spaceman, honestly. The fact that the Yankees approached Stroman and were like, hey, we want you to take the ball opening day. And he's like, nah. Doesn't that bug you a little bit? Because if I were a Yankee fan, it would have bugged me. I get it that he's on a routine and that opening day doesn't jive with his schedule. But, you know, in the history of baseball, if you're in a position to take the ball opening day for the New York Yankees, your response should be, hey, you need me opening day? I'll be ready. Give me the ball. You just signed me in the offseason. Give me the ball. But he said, no, I don't want the ball. That's not good optics in my view. Bottom of the sixth we go. Jorge Mateo. Excuse me. Okay, I'm not going to rely anymore on this interface telling me who's due up because it's 9-1 and 2 due up with Jorge Mateo at the plate. And suddenly my stream did a freeze. Give me a sec to get back up online here. Apologies. Looks like Mateo's making his way to first on some sort of play. It's a 3-1 pitch to him, and it's a called strike there. Payoff pitch to Mateo is upstairs for ball 4. So Mateo draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the sixth. So back to the top of the order for Gunnar Henderson. Hey, Charles, it's great to have you here from Nassau. Charles, I see you in on PAS's stream, maybe Rhino's stream, Fitz's stream. I'm glad to see you coming on in. You smashed the like. Hey, did you sub? Because it's going to be a long season, Charles. And me being in Thailand, you being in the Bahamas, we're in these exotic locations. We got to be hanging out. Here's the 0-1 to Gunnar, and it nips the outside corner for a called strike. 0-2. Mateo at first, nobody out. With a 6-run lead, I don't know if he's going to try and steal a base. We'll see. He's taking a pretty good lead. He holds, and this one's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Charles, you're an Orioles fan? Well, you better sub up, buddy. Go back to, hey, base heck. What was that you were saying earlier? Something about my play calling being better than the local radio coverage? Here's a check on Mateo. He's back in standing. Hey, I appreciate it, buddy. I'm hoping I see a nice bump in the sub count today with the opening day game and all. Hey, how's my thumbnail game? Does it look good? There goes Mateo. Pitches popped up. So it won't matter. Mateo will retreat as this one is in foul ground on the third base side. Rendon making the catch. Henderson with a foul pop-up. 1 away here in the bottom of the sixth. Mateo staying at first. From 1972. Was that the year you were born? I was born in 77. So you're lucky, Charles. If you were born in 72, you're at least old enough to maybe remember the 79 team that won the pennant. Of course, that World Series, let's forget about that 3-1 lead we squandered. But you definitely remember 83. See, I was born 5 years later. See, your 1983 was my 1988. We have a pitching change happening here for the Angels. Suarez's day is over with one out here in the bottom of the sixth. We'll let you know who's coming in to replace him. Adley Rutschman is due up to hit next. 7-1 Orioles in the bottom of the sixth here, opening day at Camden Yards. And so far, it's been a fantastic debut for Corbin Burnes. Some fantastic hitting and base running from the likes of Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Anthony Santander. You started following the Orioles from 72. So you just missed their 3 straight World Series appearances, 69, 70, and 71. But still, the 70s Orioles, great team. Great teams. The final years of Brooks. Yep, that's what I said, and I listen a fair amount. Your spin on the game, call, and humor are great. And I'm only just kind of getting comfortable, Base. Wait till I'm actually, like, if I'm going to be calling games every day, it's going to get so natural. And I feel like the more natural it is, the even better it's going to be for you guys. That's right, 83. I'm telling you right now, Charles, Bass, I know we all want to see us win a World Series because it's been so long, but honestly, if it wound up where the Orioles won the pennant and we got matched up against a tough Braves team or a tough Dodgers team and we didn't win it, I wouldn't feel too disappointed because I want a pennant. I mean, I know we live in an era of baseball now. By the way, Jose Cisnero, the right-handed reliever, coming on. 63 appearances last season with a 5.31 ERA. He came over, I believe, from the White Sox. What does that say about the Angels? And there's Mateo faking a run there, staying put. First pitch is low and in on Rutschman. Mateo at first with one down here in the bottom of the sixth. Rutschman 2 for 3 today, has scored 3 times already. Next pitch to him, a check swing. It's a called strike, outside corner. I forgot what my point was earlier. Maybe it'll come back to me. The 1-1 is low and in. Rutschman taking without a problem. 2-1 the count. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, so the Angels, if you recall, they just flat out cut Jacob Webb last season. And though Webb is away, oh, there goes Mateo, but it's a swing and a miss, so the throw down is not in, well, it wouldn't have been in time, but the fielder, the shortstop, unable to hold on to that throw by the catcher, and Mateo has his first stolen base of the season. The ball came out of the glove, didn't bounce away far enough for Mateo to think about getting up and advancing to third. But Mateo now in scoring position with one out here and a 2-2 count to Rutschman, and this one's low and in, the count running full. Yeah, so Jacob Webb, he was on the Angels. They cut him last year, and he would be in the Orioles opening day roster today were it not for this paternity leave that he has taken. So he's gone from a team, and this is a wild pitch, and it's going to go all the way back to the backstop. Both runners will advance. Mateo to third. And wait a minute. Now they're saying first and third. How did not both runners not advance? Oh, that's because the graphic is saying there's a runner at first when there's not? Oh, that was ball 4 to Rutschman. I'm sorry. So the wild pitch was ball 4. So Rutschman takes first while Mateo on the wild pitch is now at third. First and third, one out for Ryan Mountcastle, facing a right-handed pitcher for the first time today, and takes a fastball low, ball 1. Right. So if I can finally get my point out, it just seems kind of funny to me that the Angels thought not enough of Jacob Webb to flat out cut him. And you look at the fact that their entire bullpen is completely revamped this season, and nobody's picking them to go anywhere. Whereas Webb, the guy that they gave up on, is on a team that everyone's picking to be one of the top teams in the league, and I'm sure Jacob Webb feels happy about that. It's too bad he's not available. I'm sure he'd like to face his old team. Here's the 2-0 to Mountie. He pops it up deep to right field, backing up near the groundkeeper's shed and making the catch. This is going to be an easy sacrifice fly as Jorge Mateo can trot home backwards. Add another run on the board on the sac fly RBI for Mountcastle. It's 8-1 Orioles now. Here in the bottom of the 6th. 8 runs here on opening day with a starting pitcher that has given up just one hit in 6 innings with 11 strikeouts. What can you say? Also, no errors made yet. Also, 8 runs on 8 hits sort of leads you to say we're not leaving too many men on base. We're cashing them in. We've had a lot of 2-out RBIs today. It really has been everything you'd want. I mean, I'm knocking on wood right now, folks. I don't know if this is real wood or something fake. Here's a wild pitch, and that's going to allow Rutschman to advance into scoring position. Rutschman moves up to second, 2 down, after the wild pitch from Cisnero. Santander at the plate. By the way, it's also a pleasure to hear the broadcast team where I'm sitting here, Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald. I tell you what, they're my favorite TV duos since the days of Mel Proctor and John Lowenstein on Home Team Sports. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Here's a ground ball foul off to the right by Santander. 1-2 the count now. 2 down, a run in, and a runner at first as the Orioles continue to pile on here. 8-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Cisnero checks the runner at second, holds the ball, and the next pitch is way low and in. Well, way more in than low, but either way, Santander had to back out of the way. The catcher had to stretch to make sure that ball didn't go to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tony Taters. I'm expecting a huge year. Contract season for Santander. Already has a huge day today with a home run and 4 RBI. A chance to cash another one here with a runner at second and 2 down. The pitch, low and in, and the count runs full. There is a base open. Cisnero doesn't necessarily have to give in to Santander here, but it's a 7-run lead already. This one swung on and fouled away. Santander shaking his head, realizing he went after ball 4. So the count remains 3-2. 2 down, runner at second base. This will be the 16th pitch of the inning for Cisnero. And this one's popped up. Left side in foul ground. Rendon is there, and he makes the catch. That'll end the inning. But the Orioles add another. Their 8th run of the ball game. And at the end of 6 fantastic innings, it has to be said so far. We still got a third of this game to go. But so far, it's been a great opening day here at Camden Yards. 8-1 Orioles as we head to the 7th inning. What's going out there in Birdland? Talk to me about my O's, hon. Let's go. Oh, no. Magic, 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 magic. Orioles magic. Hey, by the way, for those who are fans of DL Hall, like I was, who went to Milwaukee in the trade to get us Burnes, he's going to be Milwaukee's Game 2 starter. So if you got a chance to check him out, I'm rooting for the guy. I honestly thought he was setting himself up to maybe be another really excellent left-handed closer, a la Josh Hader. But the Brewers see him as a starter, so good luck to him. And let's see. Burnes is the 12th pitcher in Orioles history to strike out at least 11 without issuing a walk in a game. So I thought this was going to be like an opening day stat. No, what Burnes has done on opening day is join a very distinct club of Oriole pitchers. Welcome to the club with Eric Bedard, Jim Palmer, Musina, John Means, Flanagan, Bradish, Dick Hall, Harvey Haddix, Wade Miley, Tom Phoebus, and David Wells. Hey, do you guys remember we had David Wells? I do. The day is indeed over for Corbin Burnes. He goes 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit. And that was the Mike Trout home run. Otherwise, it's pretty much perfection. Coming on now is Mike Baumann, the right-handed reliever. And a good chance to use one of our lower in the depth chart relievers here with a comfortable lead. You hope a 7-run lead. Maybe you can get some innings out of your low-leverage middle relievers. So maybe a guy like Baumann. Maybe we see Nick Vespi in this game. First pitch from Baumann is off the plate, and it's 1-0. A knuckle curve. And the next one goes back to the knuckle curve, and again off the plate, landing in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Aaron Hicks, who's 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the first and grounded out to short in the 4th. Fouled away, 2-1. The pitch is inside. 3-1 on Hicks. No need to nibble, Baumann. 7-run lead. Go after these guys. I mean, if you want to nibble with Trout, that's fine. But everybody else, you got to just make them hurt you. And that is ball 4. Low and into Hicks, and you hate to see that. You come in replacing a dominant performance by Burnes. You got a 7-run cushion. And the first batter you face, you walk him, and the 4th ball wasn't even near the zone. So Baumann walks the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 7th, and here comes Trout. Trout has the only offense for the Angels today. A solo shot back in the 1st inning. First pitch is a strike, and the next offering from Baumann is upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike to Mike Trout. Following that home run in the 1st, he struck out in the 4th. This is only the 3rd time through the order for the Angels here in the 7th. This one's way upstairs, 2-1. Baumann's next pitch is swung on a miss. A good fastball there, 97 miles an hour at the top of the zone to even the count at 2-2. Runner at first, nobody out, and the 2-2 to Mike Trout is popped up. First base side, Mateo, the second baseman, running out toward the foul line, makes the catch, turns around to check on the runner, Hicks, who remains rooted at first. So a big out there. Trout retired, and after the leadoff walk, that will help hopefully stave off any sort of Angels rally here, and Ballman can kind of get back under focus. Here's the first pitch. Doesn't get the call. That was a close one. On the outside corner to Taylor Ward, 1-0. Ward 0 for 2. Popped out in the first, struck out in the fourth. Next one's up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Danny Coulombe, the southpaw reliever, getting loose for the Orioles. The 2-0 is hit on the ground, and this is a tailor-made ball. Henderson, Mateo to Mountcastle. Easy as you like. 6-4-3 double play, and the inning is over. The Orioles put the Angels to bed for another inning. We go to the 7th inning stretch here in Baltimore. It's all Orioles, 8-1. All right. I could get used to this. Ooh, baby, I can get used to this. My goodness. What is it? 4:15 a.m. local time here on my end. And folks, I got to tell you, I don't know what my sleep schedule is going to look like for the next 6.5 months. How am I going to do this? First of all, I need a ring light. That's paramount. Even though I'm just a little video in the corner of your screen. It just doesn't look good. I mean, it's bad enough that my background isn't exactly aesthetically pleasing. I mean, this door right here, in case you were wondering, that goes to my bathroom. All right? So yeah, you get to enjoy my bathroom door and a screen door as well. And a Midsommar poster. I have an Orioles poster. You know what? Let me break this puppy out. You know, living over here in Thailand, I gotta travel lightly. You know what I mean? I'm a digital nomad. You know, I might be living in Tasmania next year. You never know. But anyway, let's see if you can get a shot of that there. I did get myself a little something to hang. I got myself a little something to hang up. I'm just not sure where to hang it or it's going to be visible. But I'm like, yeah, there's a little something. There you go. I'm not good at... everything I'm doing is backwards because I'm looking at myself on the monitor there. Okay. There you go. Orioles merch. I do have something. 7th inning stretch time. Do you want my Harry Carey impression? All right. Let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the... And then he'll hold the microphone out for a while. And then he'll come back in. I don't care if I ever for the Cubbies. There is the play-by-play booth. Jim Palmer. Jim going to live to be 200, Palmer. Ben McDonald. God, I love Ben McDonald. I'm so happy that Ben McDonald is as cool as he is. I got to be honest. When he first came up, I was like, this guy seems like a real tough as nails guy. Like a serious dude. You know, he had the high, he was like a number 1 overall pick, right? But man, he's just a down-to-earth dude. I love listening to Ben McDonald's color analysis. Harry Carey, everyone. Oh, I'm not going to give you too much flack if you spell the first name wrong. I'm a Bud man and a Cubs fan. Bottom of the 7th we go, and Cisnero is out for another inning. He'll face Austin Hayes leading it off, and the first pitch to him is low for ball 1. Hayes is 1 for 3. He had a single back in the 2nd. Next pitch is low and outside, maybe. 2-0. Is that, I mean, either I'm an idiot or Ron Washington is the manager of the Angels, right? This pitch is outside. 3-0 to Hayes. Cisnero having some command issues here. The 3-0 to Hayes is in there at the bottom of the zone for a called strike, 3-1. Here's a shot of the Oriole bird on top of the dugout. I got to be honest, of the 50 people I could see in the shot, maybe 2 people were giving that bird any attention. Here's a swing and a foul back from Hayes. Full count, leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. 7-run lead here for the Orioles on opening day in a game that we weren't sure was going to be played. And if it was, how much of a delay would there be? Very little delay. And so far, it's been a fantastic opening performance as Hayes draws a walk here to lead off the bottom of the 7th. So Cisnero getting himself into trouble. And we're about to see what we're going to see plenty of game in and game out in the later innings of Oriole games, which is Brandon Hyde making the most out of the weapons that he has. Ryan O'Hearn is in to pinch hit for Jordan Westberg. He'll take over the DH spot. And now you got a lefty batter facing a right-handed reliever. O'Hearn hit last year, hit .289 in 112 games, 14 homers, 60 driven in. 1-0 with the count on O'Hearn, and he takes one on the outside edge, 1-1. Thank you, Thomas. I'm like, I recognize him, but at the same time, oh, this one's lined into right field and down for a hit. O'Hearn is going to see Hayes goes first to third. And does O'Hearn make it into second? Yes, he does. A pinch hit double for Ryan O'Hearn. Folks, do you see what I'm talking about? Everybody on this team contributes. Everybody on this team contributes. O'Hearn knows. A left-handed starter, he's not going to be in the lineup. But at some point in the ballgame, he will be called upon. And he does rake against righties. There's a double, second and third now. Nobody out as the Orioles look to add on to this 8-1 lead. Here's Ced Mullins. First pitch is popped up foul behind the plate. I just want to see Mullins have a good at-bat. It's not about him needing to contribute anymore to today's offense because I think we're in a position to take this one home. But, I mean, going forward, I just want to see this dude have a an at-bat where he looks like he knows what he's doing up there. He looks lost at the plate. I've got to be honest. It's the one concern I have coming out of spring and so far watching today. Again, if our offense can score 8 runs with Mullins unable to do anything at the plate and we have his glove out there in center, I suppose we can still be okay, but you just like to see Mullins get back to being the hitter that he is and be able to utilize his speed when he's on the bases. He's got a 1-2 count here. This is a great opportunity to at least drive in a run. There's nobody out. Runners at second and third. So just a fly ball and a sac fly, that could give him some confidence. The 1-2 pitch is popped foul, and we'll do it again. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Baltimore. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error for the Angels. The 1-2 to Mullins is swung on and fouled back again. We'll do it again. Another 1-2. Cisnero up to 30 pitches. Not sure how much they expect out of this middle reliever, but typically 30 pitches, and you let the first 2 guys on base. It's almost as if the Angels are giving up. That's way off the plate. 2-2. I mean, obviously, you don't want to burn out your bullpen, but at the same time, you do have a day off tomorrow. You could use some guys, get a full day's rest, and they'll be available for Saturday. But they're using a lot of Cisnero, and now the count runs full. After being ahead 0-2, Mullins works the count back full. Come on, Ced. Do something good here, buddy. I'm rooting for you, man. Here's a pitch. Swung on and hit in the air. Center field, Trout going back. Near the wall, he leaps. It's over his glove. Bye-bye, birdie. There's the at-bat I was looking for. Cedric Mullins goes yard. A 3-run jack. And the Orioles have blown this game wide open on opening day. 11-1. Ced Mullins, get some. Oh, that's what I wanted. That was the cherry on top. Mullins goes yard. I won't doubt you again, sir. And again, why is Cisneros still out there? He had just given up 2 previous base runners, second and third, nobody out. He'd pitched in the previous inning. He was over 30 pitches. And Mullins, credit to Trout. He did everything he could to get back on that ball. But Mullins cleared his glove by probably 2 to 3 feet. 11 runs on 10 hits for the Orioles. Come on, chat. Where's the love? Where's the love? If chat is this dead on a game this good, I don't know what I'm going to do. What's going to happen when it's a boring, like, 3-1, nothing of a game in, like, late May? Oh, we have okay. We have a stoppage of play here. This might be something. Yeah, I think we're going to the bottom. Yeah, we're already in the bottom of the 7th. I was going to say there might have been a God Bless America or something there in the 7th inning stretch, but nothing that they broadcast. Hey, Spaceman's still here. So, Spaceman, Baltimore Orioles, are they real? Are they real? Look, I know it's the Angels, and I know the Angels' expectations this season. I mean, they're a franchise in turmoil. There's not much you can say. I'm not going to sit here and dump on the Angels. I'll dump on the owner. Their owner seems to not have a whole lot of interest in doing the things necessary to put a competitive team out there. So in terms of getting matched up on opening day, being at home, facing an Angels team that's sort of not really finding its footing, not really knowing its identity right now. It's sort of Mike Trout and the rest. The Orioles are taking full advantage of it today. 11-1 as Zuniga is the new pitcher on for the Angels, and his first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Zuniga, a right-hander. The next pitch is swung on and hit in the air, foul off to the left by Urias. Guillo, Guillo. I'm going to go ahead and say Guillo. Zuniga appeared in just 2 games last season. Here's a swing and a miss. I don't know, a little breaking ball there, 84 miles an hour. Urias reached on an error in the second, grounded out to short in the third, and they flashed it up there, but I missed what he did in his last at bat. But he's 0 for 3 today. So Urias probably anxious to join the hit parade. Pretty much everyone else has been involved. The 2-2 here to lead off the bottom of the seventh is outside. The count runs full. Mateo to follow. The payoff pitch. Low and away, ball 4. So another Angel reliever comes out and doesn't do anything in terms of settling things down. He walks the first batter he sees after working a full count. And Ron Washington right now has got to be wondering, how long is this season going to... We got to do this 161 more times? All right, here's Mateo. Inside to him, ball 1. Mateo getting a chance to hit against a righty. Why not? He's got a double today. He's also drawn a walk. The 1-0 pitch is taken on the outside edge for a called strike, 1-1. Little slider there from Zuniga. Hey, JRB, I'm going to get you interested. Anybody who's not interested in baseball, I will make you interested. Here's a called strike. 1-2 the count on Mateo. Nobody out, runner at first, bottom of the seventh. The Orioles in command here, up 10 runs, 11-1 here on opening day. It has been a celebration, to say the least, so far. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Zuniga, 98 miles an hour at the top of the zone on the outside edge. Mateo couldn't get to it, and I can't imagine many major leaguers could either. That was a nasty pitch. So 1 down. And back to the top of the order for Gunnar Henderson. First pitch to him is in the dirt and into the backstop, but now it bounces all the way back to the pitcher. The runner will advance. Wow. That ball was thrown hard, bounced straight off the brick wall of the backstop, and so hard the carom went past the catcher and all the way back to the pitcher. It's like playing handball with yourself at a handball court. 1-0 the count on Henderson after that crazy pitch. And this one is a bit inside. Zuniga may have gotten the call if that last pitch wasn't so wild. Instead, it's 2-0 on Henderson, who's 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. The pitch is tapped foul off to the right, 2-1. This sport built this country. This America is baseball. Look, Ken Burnes, make fun of him all you will, but he made 2 documentaries that to me pretty much sum up the 2 biggest contributions America has made to human civilization: jazz and baseball. You're welcome, rest of the world. 3-1 the count on Henderson. Runner at second, 1 out. And the pitch is hit on the ground to second on 1 bounce. Henderson will be retired. The runner, Urias, moves to third, but there are 2 down here now in the bottom of the 7th. Oh, yeah, Thomas. Circle the Angels on your schedule. I saw a few pundits out there that are pretty confident that Oakland is going to have a better record than the Angels this season. And I got to admit, I think they may not be far off. I could see Oakland maybe going like, 70-92, while the Angels go like 67-95 or something like that. It's possible. Here's Rutschman at the plate, now batting from the left side. And he swings and fouls one back to fall behind 0-2 on Zuniga. 2 out, runner at third. 3 runs in already here in the 7th as the Orioles have scored in all but 2 innings so far. And they've scored multiple runs in all but 3 innings. This one is up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Oriole catcher, Adley Rutschman. The pitch is swung on and popped up. Rutschman on one knee with that swing hits a high fly ball to right. A can of corn out there for Hicks. He makes the catch to win the inning. But the Orioles keep the party moving on a 3-run bomb by Cedric Mullins. Boy, it makes me so happy to see him do that. Ced got a hold of one. He needed that. We go to the 8th. Baltimore 11. The Los Angeles Angels 1. Let's take a look at those out-of-town scores and see if they've been updated at all. Looks like the Tigers have a 1-0 lead in the top of the 7th over the White Sox. The Twins up 2-1 over the Royals in the 6th. Top of the 5th, the Yankees are mounting a comeback. Houston still leads 4-2. The Marlins ahead by 3, 5-2 over the Pirates in the 6th. The Padres are up 2-1 over San Francisco. Yep, Spaceman, I think I just said that as I'm going over the scores. The Dodgers lead the Cardinals 5-1 as that game just moves into the 6th inning. The Blue Jays ahead 6-1 in the bottom half of the 6th over the Rays. The Reds pouring it on against the Nationals in their home opener. It's 7-0 in Cincinnati. Coming up in about 2 hours, the Cubs and the Rangers. And then later on tonight, out in the West Coast, Cleveland will be at Oakland. The Red Sox are up in the Pacific Northwest to take on the Mariners, while the Rockies will take on their division rival, Arizona Diamondbacks, in Phoenix. Also, just to inform those that might not have known, 2 games were rained out today. East Coast games, Milwaukee at New York, Atlanta at Philly. Both of those games, I believe, will be made up tomorrow. What is going on in Orioles Twitter? There's the stats from Burnes. Okay, hey, here's a face we haven't seen on a regular season mound in quite some time. It's Dylan Tate out here to begin the 8th inning for the Orioles. Tate missed all of the 2023 season with an elbow issue. It was a long road of rehab, but he looked good in the spring, and we're hoping to see the same sort of production out of him that we saw a couple of years ago. In that 2022 season, he made 67 appearances with an ERA of 3.05, batters hitting just .216 off of him. This one's low and in to who's up at the plate? You'll have to forgive me. Do we have a pinch hitter up here? It appears we do. Luis Renifo. And here's an inside-out swing that's going to get inside the third baseline. Renifo takes a jog around. Oh, my. Renifo hustling in for a double. There was a play as the ball came in, but Mateo was there to receive the ball, but couldn't keep it in his glove. Renifo was in safely with a double, a pinch hit double on an inside-out swing. Renifo, a switch hitter himself, batting from the left side, hit the ball down the third base line. Hayes with a good throw in, but Mateo unable to hold on to the throw. So runner at second, nobody out. The Angels have a long way to go. And here's Nolan Shanwell, who's 0 for 2 today. Want to know the count on him. And the next pitch is in there for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baseball is back. 162 chapters to write. Chapter 1 so far is a pretty good read. This one is off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Folks, I don't say it much, but hey, if you're watching, maybe you're not in chat. A lot of people in chat are people I know. Maybe you're just getting to know me. Hey, take your time. It's fine. Sit back, enjoy the broadcast. But if you don't mind, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps out the channel. It helps the algorithm. It helps reach more people. I know there's Oriole fans out there, baseball fans in general. 3-1 the count on Shanwell. And the pitch is ball 4. Wow, Tate looked like he caught the low end of the zone on the inside part of the plate, but he does not get the call. And 2 batters in. He's got 2 on and nobody out here in his first appearance since 2022. Let's hope Tate doesn't get into too much trouble here. But it looks like the Angels are making some moves here. Down 10 runs. Who's up at the plate now? Because Renifo came in to pinch hit. And now it's Joe Adell. Joe Adell is the pinch hitter on. He's replacing the number 7 batter, which was Miguel Sano, the DH. And he takes in there a called strike. 0-1 on Joe Adell. Light hitter, but does have good speed. First and second, nobody out. The pitch is in there, a called strike on the outside edge. 0-2 on Adell. The 0-2 is swung on and missed. Hey, what was that pitch? Almost like a frisbee slider on the front door. Adell with an awkward swing. And Tate gets his first out and first strikeout of the season. Yeah, there was some mad spin on that ball. So 1 down now. And that'll bring up Logan Ohapi. He takes off the plate outside for ball 1. First and second, 1 down now here in the top of the 8th. Tate on the mound, checks the runner at second, and another pitch off the plate, 2-0. The farmer in the Adell, the farmer in the Adell. Ohapi is 0 for 2. The pitch is over the plate, but a little low. 3-0 now. So Tate, and there's a shot as Brandon Hyde is seen on the bullpen phone. Tate getting himself into trouble. 2 on already. He's 3-0 here on Ohapi. There's a strike right in there. 3-1. Ohapi taking all the way. Yeah, it's still showing Renifo. Let me go ahead and hit refresh here, see if that helps. The 3-1 is grounded foul, and the count will run full. Yes, now we're back to where we should be. I don't know why. Oh, and I can already see the giveaway. Maybe I should have left it alone. Dylan Tate is about to walk the bases full here. A 3-2 pitch is about 6 inches off the plate outside. And indeed, Ohapi has drawn a walk to load the bases. There is activity in the Orioles bullpen. And the pitching coach is now going to come have a visit. I'm pretty sure I know what the deal is. This is the number 9 hitter at the plate. You got one out. There's a chance you can strike him out. There's a chance you can get a double play. There's a chance you can get out of this inning with minimal to no damage. But Tate also has to realize, hey, if you don't get this dude out, you're done. Because then it's the top of the order, and that would have been like 4 straight dudes to reach. So I got a feeling the conversation went something like that. It's like, this is the number 9 guy. Do something. Strike him out or get him to hit it on the ground. Let the defense do the work. We got a big lead. Throw strikes. Get after him. All right, here we go. Tate to Neto, and the first pitch is in there for strike 1. Neto has struck out twice already today. Just another reason to enforce to Tate here to just calm down, throw strikes, let the defense help you out. Here's one inside, 1-1. A slider that didn't slide. The 1-1 is in the dirt and outside. 2-1 on Neto. Come on, Tate. You can't mess around. Bases loaded, number 9 hitter. You're up 10 runs. Throw some strikes, buddy. Go back to the basics. Come on. It's a right-handed hitter with no power. And this could be 2. A chopper to Henderson. To second for 1. Over to first, but the ball is thrown away. 1 run will come in to score. Will another? Yes, indeed. 2 runs come in as a double play ball turns into an error. It's not an error in that you would assume 2 runners would score, but it is an error in the fact that the ball allowed 2 runs to come across instead of 1 on what should have just been a fielder's choice RBI. 2 runs score. The Angels have just tripled their offensive output. It's now 11-3, 2 down and a runner at first for Anthony Rendon back to the top of the order. So indeed, that is an error. Orioles' first error of the game. Error charge to Mateo. Mateo being asked to be sort of a super utility player. He's a natural shortstop, but second base is probably his second most experienced position. He's getting work in the outfield as well, but that's a play he should have made. 2-1 the count on Rendon. This ball's hit on the ground, and Gunnar is going to go the short way for the force to retire the side. So the Angels get a couple of runs to cut the lead down to 8 for Baltimore, but they'll only have 1 more inning to make up ground. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Orioles 11, the Angels 3. That's right, folks. Like and subscribe, would you? I'm a brand new channel. And I'll tell you this right now. This is a promise to anyone watching me now or later. If my channel does indeed have some success and it grows into hundreds watching or more, I am not going to have any betting companies for sponsors. I see it all over. Any successful sports-related site at this point is being sponsored by these betting sites, and I don't want anything to do with that. So this is coming to you without betting ads, and always will, okay? If you like to bet, that's great. You do you. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about prop bets that you can get in on so I can make some side money while other people out there develop a gambling problem. Just so I can have a successful YouTube channel. That is not, that's not my goal. Sorry. I already faced that ethical dilemma once writing for another company. So, yeah, this is a betting-free channel. If you guys want to talk about your bets in chat, I'm not going to stop you. But I'm not a promoter of betting. That's you do you kind of thing. All right. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Since the Orioles have moved to Baltimore in 1954, on opening day, the largest run differential has been 10. It's happened twice. 1973 and 75, they won by 10 runs. They were in a position to do it again before they gave up those 2 runs to the Angels. But hey, one more trip to the plate. Let's see what happens. Adam Simber is on now for the Angels. This is another off-season acquisition coming over from Toronto, where he struggled 22 appearances with a 7.4 ERA. And this one's in there for a strike 1-1 on Ryan Mountcastle, who's walked, had a single, struck out, and has a sacrifice fly. The 1-1 to him from the side-arming Simber is low and in. 2-1 the count. This one is hit on the ground, and Rendon will make the play in front of the shortstop and gets it to first in time. Mountcastle retired, 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Wow, might this game be over by 5 a.m.? And then what do I do? 5 a.m. is normally when I wake up. Well, one thing's for sure. There's no game tomorrow, so I've already got an off day. I get to take a break already. Here's Anthony Santander, and the first pitch to him is up and in for ball 1. Santander's had a big game. But he pops this one up. And making the play near the foul line is the left fielder. Is that Ward? Yeah. Ward makes the catch near the foul line on a pop-up by Santander. Santander's 1 for 4. You're like, a big game? Really? 1 for 4 is a big game? Well, 2 of those outs produced RBI, an RBI ground out. He also had a sac fly, and he's got a 2-run. He's got a sac fly, an RBI ground out, and a 2-run homer. Here's a first pitch ball hitting the air to center from Hayes, and it's right to Mike Trout. And the 8th inning is over just like that. So we're heading to the 9th, folks. This game could be over in mere moments. The Orioles take an 8-run lead into the 9th. 11-3 here on opening day in Baltimore. Thanks for hanging out tonight, folks. I realize this is just the beginning of hopefully something special. So the chatter might not be as active as hopefully it will begin to be as time goes on. And more folks will begin to find this channel. And this community will begin to grow naturally. So those who are here now in on the ground floor, great to have you. And I'm looking forward to seeing a community here, because I'd love to get everybody's input on what they're watching, if they're following along with the game. You know, some in-game decisions, strategies. That's the part of baseball I love. You know? Like when Brandon Hyde went and brought in Ryan O'Hearn to pinch hit for Westberg. You know, he didn't necessarily have to make that move. The Orioles had a nice lead. Things were looking pretty good that we were going to take it home, and Westberg could have had a chance to get in that bat in against a right-handed pitcher, but he was like, you know what? I want O'Hearn to get in that bat. He brings him in, smacks an RBI double, and there you go. All right, coming out to start the ninth inning is the southpaw Keegan Aiken. Aiken had a nice spring and earned a spot in the Orioles roster. His ERA last season, not one to boast, 6.85, and opponents hit .337 off of him. But he's had a lot of success in the minors. It just feels like there's just one missing piece for him to be an effective pitcher here with the big club. Colton Cowser, by the way, also in the ball game now as a defensive replacement. I believe he's in right field. Yeah, he takes over for Santander here in the ninth. 1-1 the count on Aaron Hicks. And the next pitch is low and in, 2-1. Angels have a long way to go here with 3 outs remaining. 8 runs down. The 2-1 to Hicks is upstairs, 3-1. And the Yankees and Astros are tied at 4, so I got a feeling I know what game I'll be watching after my stream ends. The 3-1 to Hicks is up and in, but he chases it. That was ball 4. Instead, the count runs full. Hicks hitting from the right side against Aiken, and here's a swing and a miss. So nice job by Aiken to come back and strike out Hicks. Fastball 94 miles an hour at the top of the zone. Two more outs to go. And if you can believe it, the stands are starting to empty out here as we get a look at sort of the background over the pitcher. Guess folks want to beat the traffic. It is a weird start time, and it's sort of rush hour now. Keeping in mind the extra traffic issues caused by the bridge disaster, of course. So maybe some folks said, I'm going to go ahead and check out early. It's understandable. 2-1 the count on Mickey Moniak, who's on. And he swings and misses. Excuse me. Count 2-2. I might need a cough button. Here's a fastball. Aiken tries to paint the outside black, but he misses a couple inches off the plate. 3-2. The payoff pitch to Moniak is on the ground. Broken bat to second. A flip by Mateo to Mountcastle. And Moniak is retired. 2 away. The Orioles are down to 1 more out to get their first of hopefully many wins to come this season. As the crowd that does remain are on their feet. The orange towels are waving. And the first pitch is a called strike, and a generous one. That one was a couple of inches above the zone to Taylor Ward, who's 0 for 3. Popped out the first, hit into a double play, and struck out. Not exactly an impressive day at the plate for him. 1-1 the count now. Keegan Aiken out here to finish things off. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ward chases a fastball above the zone, and the Angels are down to their last strike. Everybody on their feet. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Corbin Burnes with a masterful opening performance for the Orioles. 6 strong innings, 1 run, no walks, 11 strikeouts. He stands to win his first game of hopefully many Next pitch is a called strike 3. Inside corner. Aiken gets the call, and Adley takes off the helmet to come out for the bear hug. The Orioles win in convincing fashion. Plenty of offense. Fantastic pitching, especially from our starter. And outside of one blunder, the defense was rather sharp. They turned a couple of double plays. And the fireworks go off here over the scoreboard out in center field. High fives all around as they line up. And a look at the fans. Everybody's in hoodies and winter coats. It's the first game of the season. It's a wet day. It's a gray day. But I see nothing but rainbows and sunshine here in downtown Baltimore as the Oriole bird waves the flag there on the pitcher's mound. It's the beginning of a new journey. A journey 41 years in the making as the Orioles look to finally put it all together, get to the postseason, and hopefully this year make a run. Today was a fantastic first step. They took on an Angels team that, to be fair, isn't as strong as they were, but the Orioles still won in convincing fashion. All the credit goes to Corbin Burnes, the Orioles offense, and Cedric Mullins, by the way, that 3-run homer to cap it off. That really makes me feel good about things because that's the one guy I was a little worried about. But there he goes. That should give him plenty of confidence. Going ahead is Anthony Santander, who went 1 for 4, 2-run homer, 4 driven in, with a sac fly and an RBI ground out thrown in there. He gets the interview. I don't know if he'll get a pie in the face. But, yeah, chalk up win number 1. The Orioles, at least for right now, are in first place. How about we go wire to wire? That sounds good to me. Orioles magic, baby. The Orioles are in the win column. Final score 11-3. Folks, again, thank you for being here. I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Let you know, hey, there's an Orioles game on, because I'm going to be here. And I'd love to see you here with me and chat, interacting, meeting other fellow fans. Hey, if you're not an Orioles fan, that's fine too. If you're a fan of baseball, that's the only requirement I have. All right, we're going to have a good time here. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in a couple of days when the Orioles play Game 2. It'll be Grayson Rodriguez taking on Griffin Canning of the Angels. Again, like and subscribe if you don't mind, but that's going to do it for me. This has been the Orioles BirdWatcher. I'll chirp at you later. Once again, that final score, the Orioles 11 and the Angels 3.